everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Game 3 in Cleveland. Winner go home for the Guardians and the Tigers in the Wild Card Series. Tigers have lost 3 straight potential series clinching games, all against the Guardians, while Cleveland is 2-8 in winner-take-all games, the worst record for any franchise with at least 10 do-or-die games in franchise history. Detroit on top 1-0 in the home half of the third inning, getting out to that early lead. Kerry Carpenter with an RBI double, scoring Parker Meadows. Game on ABC TV, ESPN radio affiliates, and the all-new ESPN app. In college basketball, big extension for John Shire, Duke head coach, signing a new deal through the 2030-31 season, adding 2 years to the deal that he signed in 2023. Shire has won 89 games in 3 seasons as Blue Devils head coach, tied with Brad Stevens and Brad Underwood for the most by any coach in their first 3 seasons in Division I history. Meanwhile, UConn adding another top recruit. Huskies landing 4-star guard Junior County.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Friday as Jackson Dart and the New York Giants head to New Orleans. I'll tell you what Dart will need to improve on in his second start ever. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. Presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Fantasy Blitz later this hour. Lee Sterling making some picks next hour. Mike Triplet in hour 3. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Every time Paul goes to the wide shot, I see the Raising Cane plushie over there. I'm just thinking there are people that have got to be so confused. Like, why is there a giant dog? Well, Raising Cane's is now our studio sponsor here, and we're thrilled to have them. And so they brought us a whole bunch of stuff. And one of them is a giant cane plushie, and I just keep sitting it on a chair next to me over there. So I like to have her hanging out here.
I mean, I think it's the perfect accent to the studio.
It is.
Dogs make everything better, I'm in.
Look at Kane over there.
Oh.
Not all dogs, because not all dogs go to heaven. That's a lie. Some dogs are bad dogs. Like the one in Forrest Gump. He was a mean dog. Jenny's dog?
Jenny's dog was a mean dog.
He was a mean dog. We do have some Alabama to talk about at look at 3:30 on the rundown, Muse. Look at that. Well, that should be an A, not an S. Yeah. That should be an
Gotcha.
A.
Yeah, now I understand.
Yeah, you get it?
Yeah, I get it now.
Talk some Alabama coming up here in a little bit. All right. So Wednesday was a busy day for Brian Kelly. Wednesday morning was the SEC coaches teleconference. That's where he debunked the Nussmeier surgery rumor that had been spreading out there. Well, Wednesday after practice, Kelly met with the local reporters. Wasn't a particularly long media session, but I think of most or of greatest consequence, he did provide some injury updates. And look, LSU, as we all know, kind of was dealing with a little bit against Ole Miss. Whatever Nuss is dealing with, you didn't have Caden Durham. You lost Weston Davis in pregame. You lost Aaron Anderson, your leading receiver, in the first half. You lost Paul Mubenga in the second half. So you were kind of going through some injury stuff there. First of all, just one footnote on Nuss. I'm going to play 9 first, Muse, because Brian Kelly said on Wednesday on the teleconference when he debunked the actually, do you have that where he debunked the surgery rumor? But most important, aside from saying it was silly, it's unfounded. I think most important when he was talking about the Nussmeier thing was him talking about being through the worst part of it. He's on the backside of the injury, and that he's getting healthier, and they expect him to be closer to 100% against. This was it. Okay, good.
Early on, he had an ab strain, not a core injury in terms of what a core injury
what does
we
that
deal
mean?
with.
What does that mean?
And it's been slow to heal. But as I had mentioned, he's on the backside of that, and he's getting rest this week, and he'll be the Garrett Nussmeier that he needs to be as we get into the very difficult part of our schedule.
Okay, so if Nussmeier's on the backside of the ab strain or whatever it was, okay, remember, we saw him look really good physically against Southeastern, right? I think we can all agree to that, right? Whatever might have slowed him, he looked physically really good against Southeastern. And so then they have the performance they did against Ole Miss, which made a lot of people beg the question, like, is he hurt? Well, it stands to reason that he wouldn't have regressed. So Brian Kelly was asked point blank, like, did he have a setback during practice or during the game?
Not to belabor the point on Nuss, but did he aggravate that ab strain at any point before or during the game against Ole Miss?
No.
And he actually gave another, no. I mean, that was it. Just one word answer. So all that to say, listen, I'm not going to convince you of anything, regardless. Like, you've made up your mind, and that's fine. The only thing that will be convincing in any way is what we see with our eyes a week from Saturday against South Carolina, and we'll all see then. But apparently, Nuss is through the worst of it. He's on the other side of it. He's resting this week. He's healing. Did not have a setback last week or against Ole Miss. They're letting Van Buren take all the first-team reps this week. And so we'll see how that looks whenever they get ready to go play South Carolina. It's what Brian Kelly told us after the Florida game, that they wouldn't be able to shut him down until the bye week and then get him 100%. We'll see if he does look more like the Garrett Nussmeier we've become accustomed to see. But I maintain, as we've talked about, that's less about the torso, and that's more about the offense and the offensive line. Well, there are a couple of offensive line injuries that LSU is dealing with, of course. Weston Davis was injured in pregame. I was told it was concussion. Brian Kelly confirmed that on Wednesday.
Weston got hurt in pregame. Caught a helmet, fractured his nose, and was concussed. So he had a head injury as well. He's moving forward. He's doing well. My expectations is that he can clear the protocol, but that's one thing I never like to get into with the protocol in terms of who can and who can't. But he's moving in the right direction.
What I was told on Thursday is they do believe, I was told internally that they do believe Davis will be available. Paul Mubenga, however, is a little more up in the air.
Paul's got a high ankle sprain. So some respond better than others. He's an offensive lineman, as you know. Braylon had one as well. So we're going to play it day by day.
I think one of the real interesting questions that could come of all this is if Paul Mubenga is not able to go with that high ankle sprain, what do they do at left guard? And is it as simple as saying, okay, well, Cohen Eccles has been that guy there. Do you go Cohen Eccles? Or do they go with DJ Chester, who's kind of been the sixth man who's rotated in? I think it's very telling that to start the second half of the game, when Chester was able, remember he was suspended for the first half because of targeting, and Kern started the game at right tackle. In the second half, Chester was able to go in. They stuck with Kern. And then when Mubenga got hurt, they didn't go to Chester. They put Eccles in, which makes you wonder, is Eccles bumped down a bit, and has Kern maybe elevated? I thought when Brian Kelly was asked on Wednesday after looking at the film what he thought of Carius Kern, I thought this comp was very appropriate.
He reminded me of Emory Jones as a true freshman. If you remember, Emory technically was not very sound, but he was, fighting for dear life and was really active, had a lot of hustle errors, but he's hustling and playing physical. It's just, it's hard to be a technician at this point. So we're going to take what we can get from him, and that's hard play, physical play, can move some people.
For whatever it's worth, if you look at the Pro Football Focus grades, your lowest graded pass blockers are Weston Davis and Cohen Eccles. And remember, Brian Kelly said on Wednesday, the thing that they're trying to work on in the bye week is more efficiency and effectiveness and explosiveness in the pass game, where my contention has been you need to get better running the football. Kelly said you need to get better. They need to get better doing what they do really well, which is throwing the football. Okay. Well, you got to be able to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright. Well, your two lowest graded offensive linemen pass blocking are Weston Davis and Cohen Eccles. Your highest graded pass blockers, Josh Thompson, Paul Mubenga, who's questionable. Number 3 is Carius Kern. Kelly kind of alluded to it there. Kern's kind of running out there, maybe not exactly sure where to be all the time, but he's got a little piss and vinegar in him, and he is a physical, athletic, big dude that's looking to get in pads and move bodies. And maybe you need a little bit of that. Like maybe it's one of those things where you realize there's going to be some missed assignments, but he's going to do it full speed with a lot of aggressiveness. I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't know. I'm not giving you the answer to the test here. I really don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of Carius Kern against South Carolina. You have an open date. You got to see him start at right tackle. They liked what they saw a little bit. And it may come to pass. Like it may be that they think Carius Kern's one of their best 5. I mean, I'll remind you again. 12 days before LSU played Clemson in the opener, which feels like an eternity ago, considering what we've seen. 12 days before that game, Carius Kern was taking first-team reps at right tackle. And remember, that was the first time we saw anyone other than Weston Davis running with the first team at right tackle, and that was the first time we saw Kern at right tackle, period. So it's not like they were just rotating him in with the 2s to get him his feet wet at right tackle. He was taking first-team reps at right tackle 12 days before the opener. So this is clearly someone they've identified that they like a lot, that might be one of their best 5. And as you're looking for answers on your offensive line right now, it might be the big 5-star freshman. Brian Kelly said it himself. He's not afraid to play freshmen. They played Will Campbell. They played Emory Jones. Carius Kern may emerge into that spot, be it at right tackle for Weston Davis or at left guard for Paul Mubenga, however it may play out. Something worth watching this week. And maybe finally, and maybe most important, is Kaden Durham. Look, I've harped a lot on the running game, as I know of a lot of you. And I think a lot of the root cause of the problems in the running game are your offensive line and your offensive coordinator's unwillingness to call running plays. I think that's the core. Like, you can't be good at running if you don't try. They had 2 instances in the entire game against Ole Miss where they ran the ball on consecutive plays. 2, that's it. Like, you've got to show a commitment to running the ball. Well, your offensive line has been a problem, the unwillingness to do it, and that's magnified on Saturday against Ole Miss when you didn't have Caden Durham, who's your best running back. Suffered the ankle injury against Southeastern, didn't play. Brian Kelly gave the update on Wednesday.
He was better today, much better. We ran him in our run tracks and some team run. If he continues on this path, I'm pretty optimistic that he'll be in good shape for next week.
So that's maybe the best news of all of that there, because if part of the unwillingness to run the ball against Ole Miss was Caden Durham's absence, his return would be certainly welcome. So it sounds like Durham should be ready to go against South Carolina. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers. As a matter of fact, I walked into a gas station today, and right there, big stacked up display were the Bud Light LSU licensed cans. So you want the 12-ounce cans, the 16-ounce bottles. If you're tailgating, home gate, and game watch party, look, you can breathe easy a little bit this weekend. No LSU game. You can relax and watch everybody else play. But drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Mocklers are great people, been great supporters of the community. It's rare that you ever go to a charity event, a golf tournament, a school fair, church fair, whatever it is. You see the beer booth and you don't see a Bud booth because the Mocklers have been great community partners. So drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Okay, y'all, we'll knock out a quick break. New Orleans Saints are off the practice field early today. We'll get you the injury report from the Saints. Let's hear from both Kellen Moore and Spencer Rattler as they get set for a return to the Dome on Sunday. Stick around with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I really need to drop Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge because now they service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're about to open up an office in Dallas-Fort Worth. So it's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge, but really all over.
After further review.
Okay, y'all, if you're thinking of selling your home, or if you're just curious what your home is worth, you got to do this. Grab your phone. Now, don't do this if you're driving, but grab your phone if you're listening, watching, wherever you may be, or if you're on your desktop. I want you to do this with me. Do it live. Type in agent225.com, agent225.com. One more time, agent225.com. That's Darren James's website, just recently redesigned, reimagined. On the homepage, there's a little function called Home Value. If you're on the homepage, you'll see it. If you're on mobile, scroll down. You see where it says Home Value, gold lettering, and there's a line for your address. Just type in your street address. Hit enter, boom, and in seconds. I mean, you can do this in literally less than 30 seconds, just as quickly as you can type in your address. It'll use local market data to spit out your estimated home value. Way more accurate than something like Zestimate, which has no idea about local market data. And then if you need to sell your home, use the best. Use Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Morning
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
.1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and Duplessis Pool Builders are giving away a dream pool.
Hey.
Every $25 donation supports dreams come true, granting wishes for Louisiana kids with life-threatening illnesses, and gets you entered to win. Donate $100 and get 5 entries. You enter today at 1045ESPN.com.
The gigantic disappointment from Saints practice on Wednesday is that Chase Young has already been ruled out for Sunday's game against the New York Giants. And, man, I don't want to belabor this point, but, you know, whenever the Saints were preparing for the opener against Arizona, it was Nick Underhill, I know, who tweeted it. They had locker room availability, and Chase Young sort of walking by was overheard shouting, like, no big deal, I'll be back soon. I'm paraphrasing, but it was a quick thing, and everyone sort of just assumed that this was going to be a relatively light, easy thing, and he'd be back quickly. And I know we've talked about it, but remember, in the NFL, you can start the season on PUP, and that allows you to sit for 4 weeks and not count against the 53-man roster. So it's a tool that teams have at their disposal so as not to be disadvantaged on the roster, right? If you know a player is going to be out for an extended period of time, you put them on short-term PUP, or short-term IR, I should say, and you can use that roster spot in the interim. But if you expect a player is going to be back within 4 weeks, then you obviously wouldn't put them on short-term IR. Well, the Saints chose not to put Chase Young on short-term IR, and you can only use so many of those designations throughout the course of a year, so you got to be mindful of it. But a guy like Chase Young, who was with you a year ago and your highest-priced free agent signing this year, it's your best edge rushing defensive end. If you have a chance to get him back, of course you want him back. So I understood not putting him on short-term IR in case you could have him back even for one game. But as soon as you got to Buffalo last week and he wasn't going to be available to play, you screwed up. And then now, on Wednesday of this week's game with the Giants coming in, which you're favored for the first time this year, it's your most winnable game to this point with a rookie quarterback coming in. You love to have your best pass rusher to affect him. On Wednesday, he's already ruled out. Like, typically you don't have, game designations like questionable or out until you get to Friday. On Wednesday, he's already ruled out? That's now 5 games. I mean, the Saints have screwed this up royally, and it makes me wonder a couple of things, and only time will certainly tell here. But the question is, did the Saints screw up this diagnosis from jump and not recognizing how severe it was going to be, that it was going to take 4, 5, 6, whatever weeks to come back from this calf? Or, and I'm going to be very clear here that I am speculating, and I'm not suggesting this is what's happened, but I think it's the other question that needs to be asked. Like, is Chase Young milking this? And I don't want to be presumptive, but this is a guy with an injury history, and maybe he's cleared and doesn't want to come back yet. And I mean, no two injuries are exactly alike, but if I could present to you like what happened with LSU and West Weeks. West Weeks was injured late in the Florida game. It was a calf strain. Looked bad at the time, right? Towel over his head. He was crying, head down. They held him out against Southeastern. and then played him against Ole Miss. He played the whole game. That was 1 week off with a calf strain, suffered in game. So either the Saints dramatically misdiagnosed this injury, the severity of this injury, or something's going on to where Chase Young isn't able or isn't willing to get back on the field yet. I mean, Kellen Moore was asked point blank on Wednesday when he met with reporters if Chase Young has had a setback. Listen to what he said.
No, nothing. No, same process. He's been doing an awesome job through this recovery process. I think sometimes these timelines, we can't get caught up into narrowing our focus. We got to let it play itself out. Everyone's different, but he's doing an awesome job. He's doing an awesome job, and when he's available and ready, he'll hop out there as soon as he is. So,
if that's true, if he's doing an awesome job in his recovery, then the Saints screwed this up. The coaching staff, the medical staff, they screwed it up. Because, this is the guy that you went and invested your biggest free agent deal in to be your starting edge rusher, your best pass rusher, and now you're going to not have him for 5 games. And on the flip side, you're seeing guys like Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill coming back from devastating knee injuries much earlier than anticipated. You look at the Giants, and they're playing Jackson Dart, a rookie quarterback, and this is an offense that is middle of the league in the rushing and passing statistical categories. And keeping in mind, part of that is a game where Russell Wilson against Dallas threw for nearly 500 yards, which is gonna skew your statistics through 4 weeks a smidge. Jackson Dart threw for just over 100 yards last week. I think it was I'm not looking at it right. I think it was 111 yards last week against the Chargers. And now he's got to come on the road. You sure would love to have your best pass rusher, who was one of the league leaders in pressures a year ago, ready to go. In this game in particular, where you finally feel like you can get on the board and win one, and you don't have him. I can't help but look at this any other way except to say the Saints screwed this up, or Chase Young is milking this and should have been back by now. If you believe Kellen Moore at face value and he didn't have a setback, then something else is wrong. Just intuitive, just common sense, something tells you that this isn't right. If Chase Young was adamant that this wasn't going to be a long-term thing, and they didn't put him on short-term IR, it means they anticipated having him back within 4 weeks. And if he didn't have a setback, then they either misdiagnosed him or he's just unwilling to come back right now. It's I don't know what else it could be, unless if Kellen Moore's just not being truthful about the setback. And if that's the case, then we'll find out in time. But again, that's why there's an injury report. You have to disclose these things. And he continues to be on the injury report here, and he's out for this week against the Giants, which is massively disappointing with a great opportunity to go out and get your first win. You're not going to have Chase Young for the game. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Hey, wherever you shop, be sure you look for Evamore, EVAMOR. Beautiful bottle, clean, crisp, refreshing taste, and healthy. Remember, with Evamore, this is natural artesian water. I would really challenge you to do this. And so many of you have taken this challenge. A lot of you have. I love getting pictures. And every time I do, I send them to Shane over at Evamore. Every time you'll text me or tweet me anything, a photo of Evamore that you're drinking in your vehicle, when you're buying it, you're at the checkout counter, whatever it may be. I'm just encouraging you, whatever your bottled water buying habit has been, to give Evamore a try. It's a local price. It's a Louisiana company. It's natural artesian water. It's thousands of years in the making from these natural underground aquifers. It's piped out of the ground from this natural artesian well into the bottling plant. The only thing that's filtered out is the sediment from the ground. So you're drinking a truly natural product with nothing added, nothing taken away. It's Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical. I always love telling you about Blasian and her great staff over there at Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing and Batteries. We actually had an experience with them this weekend, man, on Monday. Drew was due for some blood labs, and many of you know Drew's special needs. It's very hard to, he doesn't understand. We're going to go give blood, or we're going to get labs. We just need and you can't bribe him with ice cream or anything like that. And 2 incredible nurses came to our house Monday night at about 9 o'clock around bedtime when Drew had gotten his sleepy meds to do blood labs on him at our house. So he could do it at his house, when he was comfortable. And they were so patient. I mean, wrestling an alligator for like 30 minutes. But that's what I talk about. It's, if it's therapeutic phlebotomy, if it's coming to do IV hydration for you, if it's coming to take care of your baby if you have a newborn, just so mom and dad can sleep a few nights. If it's end-of-life care, maybe you're caring for an elderly parent and you need nursing care at home. Whatever it is, like literally, if it's you have a child and you want to do blood labs at home instead of having to go to a clinic to do it, Decision Critical's there. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. But I really want you, if you're listening or watching outside of Baton Rouge, I want you to forget about the BR because their office is here. But they have nurses literally all over the state of Louisiana. They're about to open up their Dallas-Fort Worth office as well. So no matter where you are in Louisiana, the amazing nurses at Decision Critical can help. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out here. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Did you see Diego Pavia trash talk in Alabama? This is so good. And you might say, beware poking the bear, but like, is anybody really scared of the bear anymore? I don't know. Maybe he'll regret it. Also seems like the guy that wouldn't. Anyway, so we'll go around the SEC. Darren Teakin will be here in 15 minutes. Fantasy Blitz. Line up your fantasy football questions here as we begin Week 5 in the NFL tonight. You can start getting your questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us. Lots of ways that you can get involved in the show, so feel free to do it. Stick around with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Muse just told you a bit ago, our friends over at Duplessis Builders, they've teamed up with us here at Guarantee Media and Dreams Come True of Louisiana to do an awesome thing. At Duplessis Builders, they're doing their Dream Pool Sweepstakes. So someone is going to win a free custom pool from Duplessis Builders. And all you got to do is make it minimum $25 donation to Dreams Come True of Louisiana. Now, Dreams Come True of Louisiana is an awesome organization. They grant dreams for children facing terminal or life-threatening illnesses, and 100% of the money, 100% of the money stays in Louisiana to help Louisiana children. So what an awesome thing. Trying to raise $100,000. If you go to Louisiana, or excuse me, I think we need to get this linked at LouisianaSports.net, but it's at 1045ESPN.com. Go to 1045ESPN.com. You'll see the Dream Pool Sweepstakes. 1045ESPN.com. You'll see the Dream Pool Sweepstakes. Make a $25 donation to Dreams Come True of Louisiana. You're automatically entered to win a custom pool from DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Fantasy Blitz, about a dozen minutes from right now. Got fantasy football questions before you set your roster. Check with our guy Darren Tietkin over at whotostart.net, whotostart.net. Stephanie said, can we get a purple and gold 929 Misfits shirt that says, run the ball? Too soon? No, I don't think that's too soon. I love the idea, actually. I'll get Michelle Southern on it right away. Anybody want to design a shirt that says run the ball? We'll gladly put it up at 929 Misfits. It's our merch store, by the way, if you want to check it out. 929misfits.com. Check it out. All right, it's after further review. Giant game this weekend in Tuscaloosa with Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores looking to make it back-to-back years, upending the Crimson Tide. They ain't going to catch up, or they're going to sneak up on anybody. I think that much is absolutely unequivocally true this year. But I also wonder, is Alabama this year not as good as they were a year ago? And is Vanderbilt better than they were a year ago? I admire Vanderbilt tremendously for the way they built their program. And I remember it was either Clark Lee's first or second year as the head coach. He was at SEC Media Days, and he said Vanderbilt was the best job in the country. And I sat in the back of the room and laughed. And look, I can understand and appreciate certainly wanting to tout your job and your program and build it and all that sort of stuff. But I can also be realistic and say, like, come on, man. I mean, you have to at least be realistic about where you are and the commitment to winning and the lack of commitment to winning at Vanderbilt and so on. It's been a rough go for Clark Lee at the start. But they brought in Barton Simmons, who's a high-level recruiting guy for a lot of years. I think Barton maybe was with On3 at the end of his recruiting. I can't remember if he was with 24/7 or On3 at the arrivals. I just name them all. This is one of them. And anyway, Clark hired Barton to come sort of be his general manager. And the thing that they've done to build their roster is they've gone after old players. They've gone to like the JUCO Division II FCS ranks and gone and gotten like 22, 23, 24-year-old guys that have played 30, 40 football games. Just really experienced older dudes. And it's brought a tremendous level of buy-in and consistency. And they do the thing they do exceptionally well, which is run the football. I mean, you got a former fullback as a head coach. It's kind of what you're going to be. Interestingly enough, that Clark Lee was a fullback and became a great defensive coordinator, but they know what they do, and they do it really well. And a year ago, Diego Pavia completed 80% of his passes and completed 2 touchdowns again in the game, the win against Alabama in Nashville. Well, there's an awesome piece up right now. Chris Lowe over at On3 wrote it. I highly recommend you go give it a read if you haven't seen it yet. It's the headline is Johnny Manziel has advice for Diego Pavia. Be fearless on the field, not off. And it's a write-up about how Pavia and Manziel have sort of forged this friendship. And, of course, in 2012, en route to the Heisman, Johnny Manziel upset Alabama in a very famous game, really his Heisman Trophy moment, so to speak, in 2012. And Pavia right now is third in the On3 Heisman poll. I'm not looking at the overall odds right now for the Heisman, but Vanderbilt goes into Tuscaloosa and gets this win. Diego Pavia is going to shoot at or near the top of those rankings. Well, in this article, well, it's not an article, it's a feature that Chris Lowe did. Pavia told On3, quote, I don't know what they're talking about Alabama this week. He said, I don't know what they're doing. I just focus on us, but I know we got to bring it. That's for sure. The crowd, I think, is going to be a big factor in the game, but we just got to play within the white lines. If we do that, if we play our game, it won't be close. Don't let me down, Diego. I need you, man. I need you.
I like it, man. I love it, actually, from him.
You want some more of it?
Yeah, that's good. Nice. You know what? You get a ding for that. That was strong.
I don't even know the name of the song.
That's
I don't know who
the name
sings
of it. I like it. I love it.
I want some more of it.
Not that. Just I like it. I love it.
Who sings that?
Tim McGraw.
Okay. Look at me.
That was good.
Country guy.
That was the country guy. Jeez. But no, man, I do. Because, like, it's what you said at the beginning. They're not sneaking up on anybody. Like, if that's what Bama needed to push them over the edge in this game, then they weren't going to be set up for a lot of success anyway.
I also think it's an interesting spot on the schedule. Bama just had the huge emotional high of playing Georgia. This is a natural letdown spot, no matter how much you think you're going to be up for it. Vanderbilt, just been chugging along. 5-0. Lying in wait. Refining themselves. Big spot going on the road, though. What do you say? Quote, if we play our game, it won't be close. I'll tell you this much. Friday, and probably Saturday, too, I'll have my 40-35 shirt on, which you can buy at 929misfits.com. It's the final score of last year's Vanderbilt-Alabama game. And if Vanderbilt goes and wins this game, I will absolutely be printing if we play our game, it won't be close shirts, and I will have that on Monday as we do Bama's Burning. I'll very much look forward to it. All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Speaking of Diego Pavia, a federal appeals panel dismissed the NCAA's eligibility case against Diego Pavia, who's playing this year under that preliminary injunction. Remember, he's not supposed to be playing college football anymore, but the three judges agreed the dismissal for lack of jurisdiction and a quick ruling returned after hearing only oral arguments in Nashville last month. So, Pavia and Vanderbilt, undefeated, number 16 in the country. They're at number 10 Alabama on Saturday.
The Florida Gators.
This says at Alabama on Sunday. Who wrote this? They're going to miss the game. Like, that game is on Saturday.
Yeah, the game's going to be well over by then.
I have confirmed, with that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that game is on Saturday. Florida, in their availability report, freshman wideout Dallas Wilson, available to go. He missed the first 4 games of the season with a leg injury that he suffered in August practice. He will make his debut for the Gators against Texas on Saturday. And my goodness, does Florida need a jolt into their offense?
The Florida Gators. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
There you go, Muse. Offensive lineman Ben Mubenga out of Buford, Georgia, is decommitted from Arkansas. 6'5", 290, had been committed since June. He's a 3-star, the number 95 tackle in the country. Obviously, Sam Pittman fired. So Arkansas now down to 17 commits for this cycle.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
And OU gained a commit for 2026. It's receiver Braden Allen out of LCA, Lafayette Christian. So he's the number 579 overall recruit in the country, a 3-star, the 85th best wide receiver, the 20th best player in Louisiana. He is the 20th commit for Oklahoma's 2026 class. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. It's parishrestoration.com. Garrett Nussmeier has done an NIL deal with Parish Restoration because he and his betrothed, his fiance, bought a house. They found out the house had mold in it, actually very hazardous. And so they called Parish Restoration. Jim and the crew went in. They sprayed the patented non-toxic dry fog, killed all the mold in the house, shipshape. Awesome to see. They actually have the write-up of that at the website, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. So if you want to hear more about Garrett's testimonial, or you can read it right there at parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. It's right there on the homepage. That's where you can also fill out the form on the homepage. Just fill out that form. They'll be in touch with you, give you the estimate of what it would cost. Home, commercial building, office, church, school, workout facility, whatever it is, your car. You want to get rid of odor, get rid of mold, get rid of other harmful pathogens, sanitize. They could do any size building. It's Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We'll get to our Fantasy Blitz when we come back. Darren Tietgen will be here, so get your fantasy football questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR from the Raising Cane studio.
KFR.
You know, you can go through life not feeling great, or you can wake up every day refreshed, let your feet hit the floor with tons of waking energy, ready to go attack the day. When you get home at night after a long day of work, instead of just crashing on the couch, falling asleep, and vegging out, maybe you go get in the gym. And if you get in the gym, instead of being lethargic and feeling weak, you actually get a pump and you build muscle and you burn fat like you did when you were younger. Well, how do you do that? It's easy. It's hormone replacement therapy. I mean, all those things, hormones contribute to how we feel and how our body functions. And as we age, we produce less of them. So you can safely, affordably supplement to get to healthy levels. And Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness helps with that. They have ED treatments. They have tons of different therapies to help you look and feel your best. But it's so worth a simple blood test to let you know if hormone therapy could be a solution for you. YourGoodWood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. After Further Review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz. This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.net.
All right, let's do it. Week 5 in the NFL gets started off tonight. Little NFC West clash. Our buddy Darren Tietgen from whotostart.net good enough to join us now. Darren, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't believe we're already in week 5.
I know, man. It flies. Rams, Niners, and Niners are going to be really short-handed. So Give us a sense of what we're keeping an eye on tonight there at SoFi.
Yeah, this could be one of the uglier Thursday night matchups, although it is a divisional matchup, like you said. So it should be a little bit tighter in the beginning of the game, but at some point the Rams are just going to run away with it. I'm not starting anybody from the 49ers unless his name is Christian McCaffrey. Of course, on the Rams side, look for the two wide receivers to have good games, Puka Nacua and, of course, Davante Adams.
Any sleepers this week?
Yeah, we've got some wide receivers for you. First, Wandale Robinson. He's probably taken in your league, but now that Malik Neighbors is on the shelf, Wandale Robinson should see himself peppered with targets from Jackson Dart. Also like Trey Tucker from the Raiders. Really like that matchup against the Colts this week. And then as a bonus, not really a sleeper, but someone who's kind of been asleep, and that's Ladd McConkey for the Chargers. Look for him to kind of get things going here this week.
All right. Remember, you can always email, tweet, or text your questions for Darren. If you want to text, you can do it in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. All right, let's get this cranked up. Sean goes first, Darren. He said he needs 3, so this is a who to sit. I'm going to give you 4 names. He needs 3 of them. He's got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, and Keenan Allen. So I guess who are you sitting there?
I think I'm probably going to sit Olave. Just don't like the matchup as much as the other guys. Keenan Allen, I can't sit him. He's been on a tear. The other 2 guys there are hot as well, and Chris Olave just with Rattler right behind the helm. Just a little bit more tenuous situation there for Olave. I think you got some decent names there, but I think I'm sitting Olave.
Yeah, I'd sit Olave too, just on principle because I don't like him at all. Bronson Bridges, who to start? Jordan Addison or a guy you just mentioned, Ladd McConkey. Jordan Addison, Ladd McConkey, who to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna hitch my boat to McConkey this week. I think he's just been underutilized. I think the other 2 guys there for the Chargers, Johnston and Allen, are great, but I think at some point McConkey is gonna explode, and I think this is the week that he's gonna do it.
Clark, PPR flex. He needs 1. He's got Diggs, Ao Minor. I don't know if I ever say Ao Minor or Tucker. Also, he's got Pacheco or Woody Marks. So he snuck 2 questions in there. But let's start with the first one. Flex, PPR, Diggs, Ao Minor, or Tucker. Who to start?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the matchup here, and I said Trey Tucker in the beginning here as one of my sleepers. So I'm going to hitch, like I said, hitch my boat to him. I think he's going to have a big game.
And then Pacheco or Woody Marks. Who to start?
In that case, yeah, I'm just not into Pacheco. Woody Marks not considered the starter, but he's getting an increase in carries there for the Texans. At some point, I think Chubb is going to fall by the wayside. So I think Woody Marks is probably your play.
Matthew Cox, who to start? PPR league. He's got Kupp or McConkey. Man, McConkey's a popular question today.
Yeah, I could see people having some difficulty with him. I've been off to a real slow start, but the matchup's good for him, and especially in PPR formats, I think he's going to be peppered with targets this week. I would go with Ladd.
Couple more here. Remember, you can email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. They're pouring in, Darren. I'll try to go a little more quickly. Daryl, who to start? He's got Jordan Mason or J.K. Dobbins. Who to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna play Dobbins until his wheels fall off. That's one of the better running back tandems in the league there in Denver with him and R.J. Harvey. And Dobbins is getting the majority of the work between the 20s or out in the red zone. So look for him to score a touchdown this week, and he's probably better to play over Mason.
Let's see. Donovan says who to start, Juwan Johnson or David Njoku?
I think both of those guys are hurt. I think Juwan Johnson's probably the safer play out of the 2 just because the Browns are going with a rookie quarterback. So if Johnson's good to go, I think he's probably the better play.
Jeremy needs help at quarterback. He's got Geno or Stafford. Who to start?
I'd go with Stafford tonight. They should put up at least 21 points tonight against the Niners. They're just a mess. So I think Stafford's probably your better play.
Kenneth jumps in here, needs help. Let's see, PPR league. He's got Woody Marks or Jaden Waddle. Who to start?
Yeah, as much as I like Marks, Waddle kind of steps in as that number 1 wide receiver for the Dolphins now that Tyreek Hill's leg went sideways. So, I would go with Waddle.
He is Darren Tietgen, who2start.net, the numeral 2, who2start.net. We do the Fantasy Blitz here every single Thursday before you set your roster. Check with our guys at who2start.net. Remember, as always, you can use the code ESPN. What's the discount, Darren? Is it 10%?
It is 10%, yeah.
10% at the website, who2start.net. It's the numeral 2, who2start.net. Use the promo code ESPN to save 10%. Darren, we appreciate it, man. We'll do it again next week. Good luck this weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, we appreciate it. Darren Tietgen, as always, jumping aboard with us here. Love telling you about Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. As we like to say, from claim to cleanup. We can help you handle that whole process at Parish Construction and Roofing, commercial, residential, industrial as well. I can't wait to say we're about to start on a huge industrial roofing job. We're so excited about that and all the growth that we've had over at Parish Construction and Roofing. If you'd like, I mean, I think I've said it plenty of times over the years that you all know that I am a partner. I'm one of the owners of Parish Construction and Roofing, so I'm more than happy to help facilitate. Now, I'm not going to be the guy on your roof. Trust me, you don't want me on your roof. We got plenty of wonderful people that are great at their jobs that will do inspections and meet with your inspector and with your adjuster and handle the whole process. But if you need me to help facilitate, I'm more than happy to do so. You can always email me or text me on my line directly. I'm more than happy to help. But most importantly, we love helping Louisiana home and business owners take care of your roof. So let us give you help from claim to cleanup. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Sports Center's coming up. We get you caught up on national headlines. Jackson Dart met with reporters and, I don't know, was a little chippy talking about the Saints passing on him in the draft. We'll dive a little deeper into that. It's a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're not going to break. Sports Center's coming up. Hour 2 is next.
AFR.
Yo, the LSU Tigers, of course, have an open date. The Saints, however, are back at the Dome. And if you are going to be tailgating at the Dome, let our friends at Rouse's help you cover the spread. Not the point spread, your tailgate spread all season long, either for the Tigers or for the Hoodats. Rouse's, of course, is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. So you want to get all of your tailgate and trays for this weekend, or if you're just going to be watching the game at your house, having people over, maybe because the Tigers don't play, you're just going to have some people over Saturday to relax and watch some football. Awesome. Let Rouse's help. Maybe you just want some steaks to throw on the grill, some fish. You can go to their market there, the fish market, the seafood market, to get some fish to throw on the grill, or all of your tailgate platters and trays. They got everything that you need. Desserts, the floral department's great as well. If you want centerpieces, it's at Rouse's, helping your mom and them make groceries for 65 years. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Check them out online. It's Rouse's. This feels like home.
Trust isn't given. It's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
It's not just a game. It's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. Win or go home in Cleveland. The Guardians and Tigers in Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. Tigers have lost 3 straight potential series-clinching games, all against the Guardians, while Cleveland is 2-10 in their last 12 winner-take-all matchups. It's 2-1 Tigers at the end of 6 innings. Dylan Dingler with a go-ahead solo homer in the top half of the 6th to put Detroit in front. Game on ABC TV, ESPN radio affiliates, and the all-new ESPN app. In college basketball, big extension for John Shire, Duke head coach, signing a new deal through 2030-31, adding 2 years to the contract that he signed back in 2023. Has won 89 games in 3 seasons as the head coach of the Blue Devils, tied with Brad Stevens and Brad Underwood for the most by any coach in Division I history through 3 years. Meanwhile, in the NFL, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice for a second straight day today with a hamstring injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Friday as Jackson Dart and the New York Giants head to New Orleans. I'll tell you what Dart will need to improve on in his second start ever. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
News. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll get to Lee Sterling later this hour, his best bets for the weekend. Also, Mike Triplet next hour. So a ton to do, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. Saints are going to host the Giants on Sunday. For the first time this year, the New Orleans Saints are a favorite. Do you realize not only are the Saints favored for the first time this year, but New Orleans, through 4 games, has yet to lead in a game? 4 games, they've yet to have a lead. Not only have they not won, they have not led in a football game yet. So could be a lot of firsts this weekend for the New Orleans Saints if they're able not only to get a win, but to get a lead. But they'll have to do it against Jackson Dart. And Dart's a guy that the Saints spent a ton of time vetting during the pre-draft process. As a matter of fact, Kellen Moore, when he met with reporters on Wednesday, talked about Dart during that draft process when you might remember the Saints brought him in for a top 30 visit, pro day, Senior Bowl, all the stuff. I mean, the Saints were sort of smitten with Dart. This was Kellen Moore about that process.
Yeah, we had a chance to go over to his pro day. I thought he just did an excellent job. He's an awesome kid. Have really enjoyed watching him through his journey from all the way back to Corner Canyon in Utah to USC to Ole Miss. He's had just an incredible career. He's an awesome kid. He works his tail off. He's a really smart football player. I think that was, when we get to go through that process with players, you get to really dig into, how much football do they know? How much can they process? And I was blown away with how much he knew. And so I thought he was really prepared for this league. Obviously, he's hopped on his first opportunity, got a win. He's going to be a really good quarterback in this league.
A couple of this leagues there by not quite our league.
In our league.
We got a couple of this leagues there from Kellen Moore. Also, something else we learned in that soundbite, Jackson Dart has a tail. He works his tail off.
Boo. Come on. You can do better than that.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I really?
Yeah.
Guy said he works his tail off.
He did say that.
Why do people say that?
It's a nicer way to say works his, off.
His butt off.
His butt off, yeah.
His behind off.
Yeah.
How about he works?
Or the other word that means donkey.
How about he works really hard? He's great. Works
That's
really
too.
hard.
That works too.
I don't need to hear talk about a tail. So the Saints liked Jackson Dart a lot. And there was a lot of talk about potentially drafting Dart 9th overall, which, of course, they didn't do. They took Kelvin Banks, went with the offensive lineman. But if you remember, there were reports that the Saints tried to trade back into round one. They were trying to get back from 40 back into round one in the 20s to select Dart. But in the end, it was New York that moved back into round one and selected Jackson Dart at 25 overall. Well, apparently, Jackson Dart hasn't forgotten the fact that the Saints didn't take him 9th overall. And on Wednesday, when he was meeting with reporters, Jackson Dart had this to say about the Saints not taking him in the top 10.
I think that there's always a chip on your shoulder anytime that something like that happens. But yeah, I'm just gonna go out there and play it to my as hard as I can.
When you're sitting there at draft night and they're on the clock, did you think you might get a call? Did you have any inkling one way or the other?
Yeah, I felt like my visit with them went good. So you kind of have thoughts in your head during the draft of what options are really realistic, and I definitely felt like that was a place that could have panned out. But things didn't work out that way.
It's pretty clear Jackson Dart has a lot of oddities. He has a tail, and he has a chip on his shoulder. I mean, Muse, that's a little bit, you got to acknowledge. A tail and a chip.
Boo.
A tail? How many NFL quarterbacks have a tail?
I would say all of them. I hear that all of them work the tail off.
Nope. No, you don't. Jackson Dart's got a tail, and he's got a chip on his
chip. Right there on the shoulder.
If you could have a chip on your shoulder, what kind of chip would you want it to be?
Potato chip for sure.
What kind? There's a lot of different kinds.
Oh, you're talking like flavor or brand?
You want a brand? You going like
man.
sea salt?
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Cape Cod sea salt and vinegar. That's what I'm going with.
See, I can't go
Love
with
it.
vinegar.
Love it, man. It's favorite chip. My favorite chip. Wow. Yep.
Paulie, how do you feel about sea salt and vinegar? Like the vinegar and the chips?
I like them. They're not
Do
my
you, the
favorite,
vinegar?
but I'll have some for sure.
Yeah, the vinegar thing throws me off a little bit. It's that sour, bitter taste. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it.
Sea salt chips are good too, just the plain sea salt.
Yeah, that's all I need.
I like the vinegar.
That's all I need.
If you had a chip on your shoulder, what would it be?
Not a huge chip guy.
Oh, okay.
You know what? You know what I really like a lot? I like Doritos.
Well, wait a minute. Nacho cheese, Cool Ranch. What are we talking about here?
Cooler Ranch.
Cooler Ranch.
Yep.
Okay.
Cooler Ranch.
Okay.
Yep. That's it. I don't really eat those anymore.
Yeah.
Former fat guy. All I eat is like natural, just potato, sea salt, oil. That's it.
You could make your own chips.
Hi, I'm Matt. It's nice to meet you.
I mean, I'm just
What's
saying
your
you
name?
could. I mean, you're not going to. I'm just saying you could.
I'm talking about make my own chip. So Jackson Dart's got a chip on his shoulder because the Saints didn't take him 9th overall. Okay, well, then you've got to prove 24 teams wrong, Jackson, because 24 teams passed on you. Like, it's funny to me how these narratives start. And by the way, the Saints tried to trade back up to get him, but Houston, who was sitting there at 25, took the Giants deal. The Giants apparently offered just a better package to Houston at 25 than did New Orleans. But the Saints were making calls trying to get back in at the end of round 1 to select Jackson Dart. They liked him a lot, which begs the question, like, did you whiff, if you're New Orleans, did you whiff twice? And not getting Patrick Mahomes back in 2017 when you allowed Kansas City to leapfrog you to get Patrick Mahomes, which obviously was terrible. And we'll see what happens with Jackson Dart's career, but that's another guy that you had your sights set on, you were trying to take, and ultimately you weren't able to get. I do think this matchup will be fascinating to watch because respect to Jackson Dart, he got a win in his first start, and they won it. Was it 21-18? Was it the final against 21-18 or 21-19? It was 21-18 against the Chargers. But that was a game where New York in the second half was not great offensively. They got the third quarter touchdown with the 2-point conversion, but they were shut out in the fourth quarter, and they only put up 21 points on the board. So as an offense, New York is scoring 18.3 points per game. Now, the Saints' defense stinks statistically. The Saints are allowing 30 points per game. Let me say that again. The Saints' defense is allowing 30 points per game, which is 30th in the NFL. There's only 2 teams worse than you right now. So the Saints are right middle of the pack in everything statistically in the bottom of the NFL in scoring, but the Giants' offense is the same. They're middle of the pack in everything. They're 17th in rush, 17th in pass, 20th in total, 27th in scoring. So you have these two units, the Giants' offense, the Saints' defense, that kind of mirror each other and where they rank statistically. So something's got to give here, and I'd hope that a little bit more veteran Saints defense against the Giants offense with a rookie quarterback making his first road start without Malik Neighbors will sort of swing the pendulum toward New Orleans. Dart did also talk, by the way, about not having Malik Neighbors and losing him for the season.
Yeah, well, you definitely can't, just replace a player like that. I mean, he's one of one, just his talent and his ability. But, we got a lot of good guys on our team, and it was definitely really hard. I think it's hard, just when you see somebody that you really respect, you have a, really good friendship and all that, go down. And, during the game, it definitely, hit us emotionally just as a team. So, our prayers are with him, and, we're constantly just trying to look after him and during this time, but we got a lot of good guys and guys who are going to be willing to step up, and, they have to step up. So, yeah, just, going into this next game, just trying to get on the same page with everybody and being able to execute at the highest level.
One of those guys that are expected to step up will be former Tennessee Vol Jalen Hyatt, who's there with the Giants as well, former third-round pick. He'll likely see an increased role there with Malik Neighbors going down. So Saints and Giants, noon Sunday in the Dome. By the way, Brian Daboll did also have a thought on Jackson Dart making his first road start in the Superdome, which, at one point there was the dome field advantage, which just isn't the case anymore for New Orleans. It just has not been a place that's been difficult for road teams to come in and win, but that's what Jackson Dart is tasked with on Sunday.
Offensively, we're going to have to do a good job of communicating, from getting the play in to Jackson communicating to whatever snap counts we choose to use relative to how the sounds are there, which is usually loud. You simulate it and try to do the best you can here at practice, but it's definitely one of the keys in terms of being able to communicate and operate and stay on track and eliminate some of the pre-snap things that when you play at a dome stadium, it's loud like this. So we'll work at it out here, blast it as loud as we can, and just make sure we're on point with our communication.
Last time the Saints won at home was last November at the home game against Cleveland. I remember they won back-to-back home games against Atlanta and Cleveland in November, and then they lost at home to the Rams, to Washington, to the Raiders, and then they lost weeks 1 and 2 at home this year. So the Saints have lost 5 straight in the Dome. It's been a hot minute since the Who Dat Nation's left the Dome with a win. See if they can get one on Sunday with the Saints welcoming in the Giants. And a quarterback with a tail and a chip on his shoulder. He works that tail off, though, Muse. So maybe by the time he gets here on Sunday, he won't have the tail anymore if he's worked it off. Is that fair?
That's fair, yeah.
Maybe he'll have worked it off.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have worked it off. Okay, it's after further review. If you work your tail off, you should go reward yourself. Dinner at Supper Club is a great way to do that. How about that transition? Professional radio guy.
That one was good. I like that one.
You like that one better than working his tail off?
Absolutely.
Okay. Supper Club, BTR.com for your reservation. Or knock off of work today, just go straight over to Supper Club. Moscona and I'll have a jacket. You don't need one. Collared shirt, you're good to go. You want to throw on a sport coat? I love to do that when I go to Supper Club. I like to add a little flair. Throw on a sport coat, dress up a little bit, go have a great dinner at Supper Club. Always open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 tables in the bar area. First come, first serve. Saturday, no LSU game, so maybe it's a great opportunity to take the misses out as a thank you for not being mad at me for all the football I watch all throughout the fall. Great opportunity Saturday night. Get your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Get you a Sagrera steak, any of the great cuts they have off the specialty menus. Maybe try the bison, try something new. Try the sea bass. Maybe you want the Alaskan king crab legs. Whatever you try, it'll be the best thing of that thing you have ever had in your life. I've told you before, like, their meatballs are 35-day dry-aged beef. They're meatballs. It's just the best dining experience you'll ever have at Supper Club. Supperclubbtr.com for your reservation. Supperclubbtr.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out here. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing here in Baton Rouge and all over the state of Louisiana. Coming soon to our friends in Dallas-Fort Worth, as that office is going to open up soon. All right, Lee Sterling in 30 minutes with his best bets. Muse, Paulie, and I will get to what to watch here in about 15 minutes. When we come back, Lane Kiffin proves he is a P1 listener of After Further Review. So if you're listening or watching to the show right now, you're in good company. The Lane train listens every day. I'll prove it to you next on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. Lots of ways you can get in touch. Remember, you can always call 888-8888, 888-8888, or you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. When you go to the website, there's a chat bubble right there on the bottom of the homepage, or if you're on mobile too. Really easy. If you have a question, you want a consultation, you just tap that chat bubble, and in an instant, you're chatting with someone live right there on the website at getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Or if you prefer to talk to a human, that's cool too. Call 888-8888. Lost art, verbal communication with other human beings. We like to text a lot, but if you want to talk to a person, Gordon's team lets you do that. 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. You want to see testimonials, other results, they got it all at the website. Get Gordon and get it done.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6th generation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
I know, not good. My bad. Tail jokes and I don't know, Muse. Just one of those things.
You could have just called him by his real name.
Nah, but then that wouldn't have had the opportunity to make because now we're about to talk about Lane being a fan, and so I was talking about Trinidad Chambliss, and Chambliss sounds like Chisholm, and Chisholm scored the winning run last night against Boston.
He did.
So I was like, Trinidad Chambliss scored the winning run, but it just didn't land.
No, it didn't.
No.
It's still flying.
Or maybe you just didn't get it, Muse.
That much is obvious.
You're stupid, Muse.
No, that's not
You're
why.
a guy that reads the internet and believes internet rumors about Garrett Nussmeier having a torn oblique and needing surgery.
I do no such thing.
Maybe you're the guy who actually put that out on Twitter.
I am not the guy who put that out on Twitter.
Maybe you are.
I am not.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's your prerogative.
Prove it. Yeah, thought so.
We could do that.
Yeah, really. Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah, IP addresses and all that
Prove
stuff.
Yeah, let me
take
see
a while.
That. Let me see that, Muse. Yeah, okay.
We can get the information.
You have to the end of the show. I can get you, Ted, with nail polish. That's a Big Lebowski reference, Muse. Some people got it. If you got it, you're laughing right now. If you didn't get it, you don't get it at all. Lane Kiffin. You see this, Muse? Lane Kiffin, P1 listener of AFR.
I missed this. What
listens
happened?
Every day. Lane Kiffin gave an interview to ESPN, and he says dynasties are over for bigger SEC leagues with for bigger SEC teams with 9 league games. He said when I was at Alabama, they'd be like, go watch the outside linebackers. And there's 6 of them over there that are first-round picks. That's not going to happen anymore because if they don't play, then they're going to leave. They can't keep them all anymore. Kind of feels like just a couple days ago on the show, we were talking about how the SEC feels watered down and how there's no dominant teams anymore. And your boy was sitting here saying that the reason that you're not seeing Alabama or Georgia ever be dynastic anymore is because they used to just hoard 5-star talent every year, and they had 5 stars backing up 5 stars, backing up 5 stars. And that's never going to happen again because they don't stay. So I think Lane was listening and just stole my talking points.
I don't know if he just
there's
stole
more.
your talking points.
There's more. You want me to keep going?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Let's see if it helps your case here.
He said, quote, there's a bunch of really good quotes in here from Lane. He said, talking about going to 9 league games, you're going to have really good teams going 8-4 because we're going to play 9 conference teams, including 5 on the road. My concern for the programs and for the coaches is fans aren't going to be able to get used to numbers being different, the wins and the losses. If you're a program that's used to winning 9 or 10 games, you go 7-5, your fans are going to think the team's terrible. The coach is terrible. But you might have lost 4 road games at Georgia, Florida, LSU, and Alabama.
He's right, you know.
It's weird. It's almost like I keep saying that, too. Like, you're going to have to reframe how you perceive records, wins and loss records. Because, yeah, half of the league next year is going to be you are guaranteeing half of your league another loss. I mean, think about it. You're getting rid of effectively the FCS game. Like, that's what's happening. You're getting rid of a rent-a-win and handing half of your league another loss. That's a fact. That is math.
Correct.
I'm not good at math, but that is math. That's what's happening. So you are going to have that reality where you're going to have teams that could be really good, and they're typically 9-3, but they're 8-4 because you're handing half. Like, you know who's devastated by this is Eli Drinkwitz. I saw Eli Drinkwitz was on with T-Bob this morning on the Wake Up Barstool show. I saw a graphic that they put up, and he said college football is just a big beauty pageant right now. I'm like, well, Eli, maybe that's true, but you're the ugliest girl at the pageant because your non-conference schedule is Central Arkansas and Kansas and UL Lafayette. And who was the other garbage team they played and scored 60 on?
I don't
last
remember.
week?
It doesn't matter.
It does, but that's the point. Like, okay, you want respect? Play somebody. You control that portion of your schedule. Well, now guess what? You're taking off one of those trash games. You're taking off Central Arkansas where you scored 63, and you're going to play an SEC game. And they're going to hang another L on you. Instead of being a fraudulent 10-2, you'll be 9-3. And by the way, I don't really care what the record says. Like, I don't care if it's 10-2, 9-3, how it looks. As far as the optics of that, what I want to see is good football. I'd rather that than an artificially inflated record where you're 10-2 because you played a bunch of garbage teams. This is Missouri, right? Like, we all sit here and complain about Indiana a year ago going 11-1. And they played one ranked team, Ohio State. They lost by double digits, and they still got in the playoff because the record said 11-1. By the way, Lane went on. Talking about the playoff. It can't be these people deciding who gets in the playoff. We've got to get back to analytics and computers. Baseball and basketball have the RPI where they take into account margin of victory, who you play, where you play, all of that. Are you better than the 10-2 Big Ten or ACC team? Well, you took away 16 non-conference games, so you really don't know. It's just like the records in college football are so burned into our heads that 11-1 is so much better than 10-2 and so much better than 9-3. But it's so different because you're in these different conferences. I don't know. It's almost like I've been sitting here screaming for years that I don't care about these self-important dorks in a hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas debating things like defensive efficiency metrics and game control. And Honey Boo Boo, and who's the other guy? Ward Cleaver out there?
Ward Manuel, the guy from Michigan.
Yeah, throwing out his opinion, just changing his mind every single week based on what they're going to do that doesn't really matter for anything because it's all a fraudulent TV show. The thing that I've said that I want forever is get rid of all the stupid non-conference games that nobody wants to see and your artificially inflated records. Play games that are actually competitive, fun games that you want to see, and then have a true playoff at the end of the season instead of this fraudulent piece of crap with a bunch of dorks in a hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas debating things like game control, defensive efficiency, to see who has the honor of playing in a playoff instead of actually just, having a real playoff where teams are seeded in that playoff. Yeah, let's get to 16, and then let's get to 32, where one plays 32 and two plays 31, and so on and so forth. I know a lot of you recoil at the thought of that. Oh, like anybody really wants to see 32 teams? I would. You don't want to see football? You don't want to see more football? I would love to personally see a lot more football. But I'm good. I'm good with 12 is better than 4, and we're going to go to 16, and 16 is going to be better than 12. Because you know what it solves? 16 solves the conundrum of a year ago where you had Ole Miss and Alabama and South Carolina that were all 9-3, and they're all bitching and moaning about how they're so much better than 11-1 Indiana or SMU, which lost the ACC championship game. And you know what the committee does because they're cowards? They look at the record, like Lane Kiffin said, like I've been saying forever. They look at the record and go, 11-1. That just looks so much better than 9-3. Okay, well, what if Indiana had played that schedule? You know a way to solve this? Go play games on the field. Don't solve it in a hotel ballroom with a bunch of dorks in suburban Dallas. Solve it on the football field. Like, seed the field, have a metric that's all agreed upon before the season. It isn't hard. Like, everybody does this. Have your metric agreed to before the season starts so teams know how to build their non-conference schedule, how the power ratings are all going to set up, and then you seed your tournament. Now it'll be 1-16, and then eventually 1-24, 32, whatever we go to, and one plays 32 or one plays 16 and two plays 15 and so on, and you have an actual tournament. And all those teams we just talked about get in. And I can hear you all recoiling. No, you win. It waters down the sacred regular season. No, your crappy regular season right now that involves games with Central Arkansas, where Missouri's bitching about they're not going to get in, but they load up their non-conference with Central Arkansas and UL Lafayette and Kansas is their Power 5 non-conference. They play Kansas. Congratulations, you beat Kansas. Put them in the playoff. 10-2 looks great. Stupid. We all know the truth. So, prove it. Play it on the field. Good to see Lane Kiffin's an AFR fan. He basically has taken my talking points that I've been saying for probably a decade now, that most of you hate, but you're going to learn to love. You're going to learn to love it because you're going to get way more football that you want to see. Like, let me ask you a question. How jacked up were you for the SEC weekend scheduled 2 weekends ago? Was anybody excited about that? What do we have? Missouri and Kentucky, or Missouri, South Carolina? Wasn't that the only SEC game on the slate 2 weeks ago? It was a total trash pile of a schedule of a bunch of games nobody wants to see or cares about. Hey, man, but you need those games. No, you don't. You only have those games because they're a money grab. But when everybody stops playing those trash pile games that nobody wants to see, you'll have more equitable scheduling. You just have to reframe your mind away from what does 10-2 mean? 10-2, you're in the playoff. You got to reframe your mind. It's more important, what does your 10-2 look like? What does your 9-3 look like? I don't care if you go 11-1 if you didn't play anybody. It's time collectively the sport stops artificially inflating records and propping up teams with artificially inflated records. Go play somebody. Challenge yourself, and let's see how it all comes out. That's going to be way more fun for the fans. It's going to be a better product on TV. People say we're ruining college football. Do you realize ratings keep going up? Like the transfer portal is and NIL is ruining college football. Do you realize every week they keep setting new viewership records? Because everybody has a chance to be competitive now. It's what Lane said. What's Lane stealing my talking points that he did for this article with ESPN. You're taking 5 stars that aren't sitting the bench at Alabama and Georgia anymore, and you're dispersing them around the country. So you're bringing the top tier, they're regressing a smidge, and you're elevating more, and so you're having a more parity-driven sport where more teams actually have a chance to win a championship. Instead of the same 3, 4, 5 teams that have a chance, there's 20 teams that can win a national championship. I don't think that's a stretch. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to keep more teams, more fan bases interested and have a more competitive product. LSU lost to Ole Miss. That sucks. You know what they can do? They can get better over the next 7 games, make the playoff, have a healthy Nussmeier, an offense that's figured it out, and go on a run. I don't know if they will do that, but they can. I'd much rather that than watch Indiana football go 11-1 playing a bunch of trash pile teams and get in the playoff, get their ass kicked by Notre Dame. Yeah, congrats. You play 2 ranked teams. You get your behind beat. You got your tail beat by both of them. How you like that, Muse? How about that callback? You like that?
Yeah, that was good. See, that was good.
Well, give me a ding then.
I'm
if you're gonna
moving the mouse.
You're going to loudly boo me when I said that Jackson Dart has a tail.
Well, he's working it off, so he might not have
He might not have the tail anymore.
Does he have a toe?
I know this much. A lot of guys in that Saints injury report with a toe.
A lot of them.
We're going to get to that in a little bit. But I got to remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. Saturday, what's today, Thursday? 2 days. Federalis Fest in 2 days, sponsored by the Williamson Eye Center. Cool live music outdoor festival here in Baton Rouge. You love Americana music. You might want to check out Federalis Fest, presented by the Williamson Eye Center. Get your tickets at federalisfest.com, federalisfest.com. And if you wear contacts or glasses, you want to get rid of them forever, Dr. Blake Williamson can make that happen. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or go to williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. If it's LASIK or PRK, maybe it's EVO ICL, which is the implantable contact lens. It's a reversible procedure. If it's the custom lens replacement, no matter your age or your refractive issue, they have a solution for you to be able to ditch your contacts and glasses forever at the Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020 or go to williamsoneye.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. We do it every Thursday. Muse, Paulie, and I do our What to Watch. 3 things as we head into your football weekend to keep an eye on. We'll do that when we come back on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
After Further Review.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Big shout out, as always, to Blazia and the great team over at Decision Critical. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. Maybe you're a guy like me on hormone therapy. Your doctor prescribes therapeutic phlebotomy. Give blood, keep your red blood cell count down. Remember, Decision Critical can come to your home, to your office. I mean, less than 30 minutes. It can do that blood draw for you. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. Told you my own testimonial. We had two Decision Critical nurses. Shelly and Carla were awesome. They came to our house on Monday. Drew was due for blood labs. It's very difficult with a special needs child, and they came to our house and were so patient with him. This was 9:15 on Monday night, and their nurses came to our house, and they were excellent. And, I mean, Shelly had to run out of there to get Drew's blood to the lab, which they called ahead to make sure they stayed open so they could get it and get it spun and get the results. on a Monday night. They're awesome. Say it all the time. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Remember, the nurses are all over the state of Louisiana now. They're about to open in Dallas-Fort Worth as well. So no matter where you are in Louisiana, their nurses are everywhere. The home base is in Baton Rouge, but their nurses are all over the state. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, football weekend starts tonight. What are we watching? Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
Bring it up, Muse.
All right, let's see if there's a little bit of hangover for Georgia and Penn State, man. Can they still be licking their wounds? They each have pretty sleepy games. Kentucky comes to Sanford Stadium, 11 a.m. kickoff. I don't think Georgia's in danger of losing, but does it take them a while to get going? And then Penn State, they have to go across the country out to UCLA for a 2:30 kick in the Rose Bowl, which not normally the most raucous environment. Do those losses against big teams and big moments hang around a little bit for both Georgia and Penn State this weekend?
I'm watching Texas versus Florida. It's the Longhorns. They travel to Gainesville to open SEC play. It's the first of eight consecutive conference games for quarterback Arch Manning and company, with the next 4 coming away from the road. It's the first test for Art since the season opening loss to Ohio State. Florida, if they lose, they fall to 1-4 in the loss. Schedule doesn't get any easier for Billy Napier, with Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Georgia all on deck.
Let's find out if the surging New England Patriots are actually any good. They've got 2 pretty impressive wins, 33-27 and 42-13, but they were against the Dolphins and the Panthers. What we know is that the Patriots aren't the worst team in the NFL, but they lost to the Raiders and the Steelers. This is a different level. Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. Really good barometer of how much they're improving. Before they come to the Dome, by the way.
We got 2 of them this week, Scone.
Let's go.
2 more unranked teams favored over the rank. We start in Cincinnati. The Bearcats, 1.5-point favorite over undefeated Iowa State. Cyclones down their top 2 corners to both ACLs. And then Virginia travels to Louisville. Newly ranked Virginia. They are 6.5-point dogs on the road to Louisville. Really good offense with Miller Moss. Field Storm Fade as well.
Field Storm Fade is an auto play.
I mean, and the unranked over the rank.
Give me Louisville on the money line 100 times out of 100 in this game.
The Cleveland Browns have a new starting quarterback. And it's not Shedeur Sanders, it's Dylan Gabriel. The Browns get to add another name on the long list of their quarterback history. Shedeur Sanders does remain QB3.
How many is it? Come on, Paul. You got to prep that.
I know it.
It's 41.
41.
Come on, Paul.
It's a lot.
I'm doing your job. You start doing your job for you, Paul.
No more room on the jersey, probably.
You better, Paul.
Shedeur Sanders remains QB3, and he was asked about the move yesterday and literally mimed his answer to the media.
Saw that.
Crazy.
Hat tip Rivers Huey. Texas A&M, you're on upset alert, chump. Since joining the SEC, the Aggies only lead the Mississippi State Series 7-6. All the resources Texas A&M has, the reality is State's been right there with them every step of the way. When people wonder why State fans don't fear Texas A&M week, it's because history shows they should. Hat tip to Rivers Huey there. State! By the way, Jeff Levy, I saw this earlier today. I think he's won 8 straight as an covered 8 straight as an underdog against ranked teams.
Hell yeah.
I need to get that stat. I should have had that. Sorry, Paul. I'm pulling a Paul here.
Oh, come on now.
But a great number right there as well. By the way, big cover last week. Almost had the outright winner. We were all over State last week. Really like State in this spot. And even at Kyle Field, don't care. I really like State.
Blackout at Kyle Field.
Really like this spot.
Jaden Daniels, he returns from a 2-week absence with a knee sprain. Really want to check out that mobility. He's been a full participant in practice, but he'll have to have his first game back across country against a really good Chargers defense. Commanders really need a win, too, at 2-2.
I'm watching Bucks and Seahawks. Both teams are 3-1. Bucks rookie Emeka Egbuka, he already has 4 touchdowns and currently has the best odds for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Seattle's battling in the tough NFC West. The Bucks should run away with the NFC South. Winner of this will be 4-1 and remain one of the top teams in the NFC.
You know what? I'm going to wrap this up as if there's any freaking doubt. 40-35, remember the number. when Vanderbilt punked Alabama. I got news for you, Coach. Vandy's coming again. Diego Pavia, he ain't scared of nothing. Vanderbilt's better, and it's a giant letdown spot for Alabama after the game on the road against Georgia. Get ready, chumps. Kalen DeBose, this is your spot. Boy, you can get up against a big opponent. Your problem is you always lose as a double-digit favorite, you chump. Don't you go losing to Diego Pavia again, dog. I told y'all before Florida State, I'm going to tell you again, right? Don't you go lose. Don't you go mess up and lose to Vanderbilt again. But I would really like if you would actually mess up.
All right, that'd be great, actually.
I'd love to see it. There you have it. That's what we're watching this football weekend. It's After Further Review. Lee Sterling giving us his best bets, and we wrap up hour number 2 next.
After Further Review.
River City's 1 hour air where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001 or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Heater safety check, heater safety check, heater safety check. Heater safety check. I'm gonna hammer this heater safety check into your brain for the next several weeks because it's October now. We're going to hit that first cold snap soon, and you're going to turn on your heater. That heater is dormant for months. It can collect dust. It can be hazardous. Before you turn it on, you need to have your heater safety check. River City's 1 hour air can do this for you. Mention the show, the Moscona special. They'll knock off $30. Join their maintenance club, and that's a complimentary seasonal maintenance on your heater and your AC. Heater safety check. 752-0001.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead...
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
Lee Sterling won 11 straight NFL games on his service over at Paramount Sports. He didn't win. I mean, guys out here cashing tickets. Lee, how are you, man? Don't hear him.
I'm good.
There he is.
I'm real good.
There he is.
What's crazy is I was looking at some of the draft projections, and these are crazy. I mean, before the year, if you were to look at who were the top quarterbacks who were going to get drafted in what order, I honestly wouldn't draft any quarterback in the top 10 now.
I believe it. I mean,
do you agree?
Oh, well, you're talking about Sellers and Arch and Nussmeier were the really common names, and that's completely flipped now. One game that might be named that might be gaining a little momentum is Carson Beck. I know you're down there in Miami. Look, Miami, Florida State's all you got to say. This one's at the Doak. I'm going to be really interested in this one, how Florida State bounces back. Miami's 4.5-point favorite. What do you think about that one, Lee?
Well, a lot of people thought that would be better if Florida State wins, and then Miami can – well, you're never going to sneak in town in this rivalry, but might catch Florida State maybe a little high on themselves. But here's a little suggestion. Watch the coin toss. I think this might be the most important thing of the game. Why do I say that? Because if Florida State wins, what I would do is I would take the ball, and I'd try to score first. I think you got to put some pressure on this Miami team, make them play from behind. Because I was watching the game, and Florida State was the better team. They just didn't win. Crazy things happen on these Friday night and Saturday night games, under the lights at home, and they did get upset. But UVA was down 2 starting offensive linemen, and they dominated the line of scrimmage. They ran for 211 yards here. So unless they've got the lead, I think they're in trouble here. Miami was laying 21 last year, won by 22. I think both teams are better. I think Miami's overall better. Their special teams or defense are better. Offense, not quite as dynamic. And I think Florida State's improved, but I never thought they were top 10 here. I think under a touchdown, Miami's the call, 31-23.
Okay, Miami laying 4.5. This line feels massive. A&M a 2-touchdown favorite against Mississippi State in the Battle of the Maroons. That's been a close series since A&M has been in the league. Aggies, Bulldogs, how do you see it?
Yeah, you got to understand the mentality. And Mike Elko's a defensive coach, and he, he's going to try to win games. If he gets the lead, he's not going to, start throwing the football around, especially after what happened last week. How about this? This was interesting. I was shocked at this. The Aggies are 1-8 against the spread the last 9 games. The only cover was on that game against Notre Dame where they scored, I think when the play clock started, it was like 7 seconds. So that's crazy. And Mississippi State is on an 8-1 run here against the spread. Something else that's going to give A&M some problems here as far as covering 2 touchdowns. Mississippi State runs the ball 57.8% of the time. When you run that often, and A&M likes to run it too, less possessions. So, let's say there's 8 possessions for each team or even 9. That means if they score touchdowns on 2 more possessions, they're only getting a push. I think they win the game here 28-17, but I think 14 points is too much.
Lee Sterling's with us, ParamountSports.com, at Paramount Sports. A couple other college games I want to get your thoughts on. Texas, Florida, obviously so much challenges there for Billy Napier and the Gators. Texas, championship aspirations. They're a touchdown road favorite here. Longhorns, big price on the road. What do you think?
It is. Florida is struggling offensively, but their quarterback obviously is going to get some time, DJ Lagway, to rest. That's important. Their defense, rock solid. Only 6 touchdowns they've allowed the entire season, and 1 was less than a minute to go against Miami. Arch Manning obviously is not right. He has to play much, much better than he played against Ohio State if they want to have a chance to win and cover this game. And, the Longhorns' defense and ground game is good, but I don't think enough to win by more than a touchdown here. Texas, 20-17.
Okay. Texas, but Florida with the points there. Yep. All right, Bama and Vandy, Lee. Can the Commodores do it 2 years in a row?
Well, last year wasn't a fluke. 23-point underdog. They obviously pulled one of the greatest upsets in the last decade, 40-35. But before that, Alabama had outscored Vandy 148-3. Vanderbilt is 1-0 in conference play, but if you go back and watch the game against South Carolina, as soon as Lenora Sellers went out, I think it was a 7-7 score with a concussion, the game just changed. And Vanderbilt only threw for 177 yards. Their weakness is pass defense. Even Utah State threw for 274 on them. So I think the airways are open. This Bama team and Ty Simpson right now might be playing as good a football as any quarterback in the country. He's got 3 really good receivers. Payback is a you-know-what. Alabama, 41-20.
Big, okay. Lee likes Bama to win and to cover.
Yeah.
I will not be cheering for that at all. Hey, before we get to a thought on Saints Giants, remind people about your service and the number they can call.
Yep, just go to the website, ParamountSports.com. We won 11 straight in the NFL. Hit a 40-unit max wager last weekend with South Carolina, blowout over Kentucky. And we've got another 45-unit play. We're 73-29 lifetime on our max unit, 40 to 50-unit plays. You want to hop on board? We don't call it October. We call it Locktober. Use coupon code SAVE200, just $3.97 through Halloween night. Just one place, ParamountSports.com. And also there's a UFC card going pay-per-view Saturday night. We've won 14 of 17 cards. First time in 6 years since we started doing the UFC, we have a 40 and a 50-unit wager on one card, 7 selections, $57, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. Lee, I got 15 seconds. You want to give a pick on Saints Giants?
All right. Love the Saints here.
Okay.
And here's something interesting.
I got 5 seconds.
Situation.
I got to go.
Kellen
Lee.
Moore gets it done here.
I love it.
Who knows it a bit? See you guys.
AFR.
Muse crew. When I said I got 15 seconds, give me a Saints pick, Muse went, oh, no. I just walked Lee right up to the hard break. I appreciate it, Lee. Thank you, man. He's the best. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. It's energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. By the way, if you're building your home, remember, new construction, tell your builder to use Relief Windows because lifetime transferable warranty. So you build your home, you install Relief Windows on the build, guess what? For the rest of the time you live in that home or anyone lives in that home, Relief Windows is replacing the windows for free. Lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Check them out online, ReliefWindows.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. 3 win-or-go-home games today in the Major League Baseball postseason. Wrapping up the wild card series, the Tigers punch their ticket to the DS. They take down the Guardians 6-3 in Cleveland this afternoon. Dylan Dingler with a go-ahead solo homer in the top of the 6th inning. That turned out to be a big blow. Tigers would add on 4 runs in the 7th. Winsell Perez with a 2-run single. Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green with RBI singles as well. Guardians rally in the bottom of the 8th inning. Not enough. And the Tigers advance to take on Seattle in the division series. The Cubs and the Padres at Wrigley. It's 2-0 Chicago in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Chicago getting to Yu Darvish in the 2nd. He's done after 1+, allowed the 2 earned with 4 hits. Pete Crow Armstrong with an RBI single. Dansby Swanson with a bases-loaded walk to add on, but the Padres limiting the damage in that one. The game on ESPN TV, ESPN radio affiliates, and the ESPN app.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy, coming up Friday as Jackson Dart and the New York Giants head to New Orleans. I'll tell you what Dart will need to improve on in his 2nd start ever. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane's studio.
That's right.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tombley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Earlier on Thursday, Jeff Duncan broke the news that the New Orleans Saints and the state of Louisiana had extended their lease to keep the Saints in the Superdome for another decade. Mrs. Benson, the governor, made that announcement at the Dome earlier today, really as we were starting the show, and Jeff's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, man, thank you. How are you?
Hey, Matt, just off deadline, perfect timing.
Good, man. We appreciate it. Glad when things work out like this. Okay, so let's talk about the terms of this new deal.
Well, it's really a 10-year deal with 4 5-year options at the end that belong to the Saints to re-up. So as much as we want to say it's a long-term deal, I think it's really more of a short-term deal for 10 years. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that, Matt. We just saw 30-year lease agreements in Buffalo with the Bills and in Jacksonville with the Jaguars. And I think the state and the city would have liked to lock up this team for 30 years ironclad. But the reality is this is not a new stadium. It's a 50-year-old building that, yes, it's been renovated to the tune of $500 million, but it's still not new. And the fact is, Gail Benson's 78, will be pushing 90 at the end of this 10-year period, and there's going to be an ownership change at some point. And I think the NFL wanting flexibility to not lock in a new owner down the road to maybe an old stadium, or give them flexibility on the asking price for the New Orleans Saints when that sale takes place. I think all those things played a factor into why this deal isn't quite as ironclad long-term as maybe some other ones.
It felt like this deal was maybe halted. It was slow to get moving. Maybe you just explained it, Jeff, but what were the reasons that this one maybe took a little more time than they thought to get done?
Well, they're very complicated deals now. If you look around the NFL and around the nation, a lot of them involve real estate, merchandising, commercial interests. There's way more than just a football stadium now. If you look at the deal being proposed up in Chicago, out in Arlington, it's a $5.5 billion deal, Matt, and it includes 2 hotels, real estate, like I said, a lot of commercial, retail outlets. That's the way this thing is all going. It's not just going to be a stadium like Lambeau Field. That's kind of the way of the past. And I think the Saints were trying to fold in. Well, they were trying to fold in the Benson Tower lease, which is the skyscraper right there next to the Superdome, Champion Square, which is an entertainment venue. All these things work together, and it got very complicated. And a lot of it had to do with leverage. The Saints want leverage to try and make the state stay in those office towers at the lease rate that they have, and the state wants flexibility to get out of them. And so somebody had to give, and I think both sides ended up compromising.
Okay. Jeff Duncan's with us. He's on Twitter, X at JeffDuncan_. You can read about this over at NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. Maybe a thought, I'm asking you to editorialize a bit here on the significance of getting this deal done.
Well, look, I think it was very important to lock up the team long-term. I do think, and a little shameless self-promotion here, my column will be up on NOLA.com soon about the long-term implications. I think there is reason to be concerned about the long-term future of the team here because we don't have a new stadium here, because this deal only lasts for 10 years, and there's no indication that the New Orleans Saints and the current administration, Dennis Lausch is a New Orleans native, Gail Benson's a New Orleans native, they vowed to keep the team here. It's beyond their tenure that I think leads to the uncertainty. They can now pick the next owner, from a bid process. That's one thing I've found out, Matt, is it doesn't have to necessarily go to the highest bidder. It can go to the ownership group that Gail Benson's trustees can pick, but it still has to be approved by the league. So in the end, the league will decide who the next owner is of the New Orleans Saints, and I think that's when the uncertainty kind of gets there. And I understand why we don't have an ironclad 30-year deal because of that uncertainty, but it's still, nevertheless, I think, cause for concern, once we get to 2035.
Jeff, will Gail Benson sell a team in her lifetime? Or will this be executed after she dies?
She's indicated she's going to keep the team until she dies, and has enlisted her general manager. That's one of the reasons, a lot of Saints fans, are up in arms about Mickey Loomis and want him out of here. He's not getting fired. I mean, he's one of the trustees that's going to be in charge of picking the next owner of the team. Now, he may be in a different role. I could possibly see that happening, but he's not going to ever be fired from the New Orleans Saints because he's so deeply ingrained in the hierarchy of this organization. Very unique, the role that he's in as far as being entrusted with picking the next owners, along with Dennis Lauscha and Greg Bensel and the rest of the management team. So I think people are kind of barking up the wrong tree trying to get him run out of here.
Do we know if there have? Let me ask a more blunt question. I get asked all the time about Todd Graves, who's a billionaire from Louisiana who might be in line. Do we know if there's interest there?
I've been told he's extremely interested in owning the New Orleans Saints, but publicly he's never going to say that. He has great respect for Gail Benson and does not want to be seen as a stalking horse or looming over her shoulder in any way. He has too much respect for her and her ownership. But rest assured, he will have to be vetted by the NFL. I mean, the reality is any NFL owner could have a tragedy any day, and they have to be an ownership, group lined up to be vetted to one day potentially own the team. So I assume Todd Graves has already gone through that process or is in the process of doing it. But I think it would take more than just Todd Graves. I think it would take a consortium and a partnership. That's how most of these things work these days.
Sure. Just a couple of more, and Jeff Duncan's with us, NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. If you missed it, the Saints and the state of Louisiana have agreed to a new 10-year lease, keeping the Saints at the Dome in New Orleans with team options for an additional 20 years as we go in 5-year intervals. I know this is significant for the Super Bowl as well. Can you walk us through the particulars there?
That's very much up in the air. I'm a little more discouraged after talking to people today at the ceremony than I was. I thought this was kind of a rubber stamp once the deal got done, but there's been some feathers ruffled in Park Avenue as I understand it. I think that's going to be a very competitive process to try and get that 2031 Super Bowl. And as I understand it, Matt, it's really the only year that the city can host the game until we get all the way out to 2038 because of conflicts with Mardi Gras, some major conventions that are booked. That's the year. So hopefully the NFL sympathizes and recognizes the unique circumstances surrounding this lease agreement and our jam schedule. We have to deal with Mardi Gras where other metro areas don't have to deal with that. Hopefully they understand that. I know they were very satisfied with this past Super Bowl. But again, it's business, and there's a lot of competition. Chicago, like I said, is going to have a new stadium built around 2030. Would they get a game? We know one's coming online in Nashville, a $2 billion stadium. There's just a lot of competition for these big games.
Last thing for you, the new stadium piece of it. What is the realistic possibility that we see a new stadium adorning the New Orleans skyline?
I really believe it's going to come down to the new owner. And I think that's also why this deal is a 10-year deal with 5-year options, because they don't want to lock into the Dome long term. And I think it will require a deep-pocketed owner, like a Todd Graves, frankly, that would have enough money and capital and liquidity to put up money to build. These stadiums now, like I mentioned, are minimum $2 billion. There's no way that Gail Benson can afford that. All of her money is tied up in the value of the teams. So it would take a new owner, and I think that's a very real possibility for the new owner, whoever owns this team, say in 2040 or so, to build a new stadium. I think that's part of why this deal is not quite as long-term and ironclad as we probably all would like.
Jeff broke the news, and he's got a column coming soon, as he just told us there at NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. Be sure to follow him there on Twitter as well, at Jeff Duncan _ at Jeff Duncan _ Always appreciate the time. Thank you.
Anytime, Matt. Take care, buddy.
All right. It's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. If it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. Remember, all the inventory, new or certified pre-owned. You can shop it online and go and see our friends over at South Point Volkswagen. How about 1.9% on 2025 Atlas right now? That's a 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. $2,500 customer bonus on the Atlas Crossport. That's what I drive, is the Atlas Crossport. 2.9% on 2025 Tiguan. You want to get into a brand new Volkswagen? this is the time. We get a great deal over at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Appreciate Jeff for hanging out with us. Lee Sterling last hour. We had our Fantasy Blitz in hour 1. Mike Triplet's coming up here in about 17 minutes from right now. Yes, we are going to have Mike back on the show. Mike said last week when we called him, he's like, still calling me, huh? After the loss to Seattle, it was tenuous. But Saints have a good shot, I think, to snag a win this week. We'll talk to Mike Triplet here in about 17 minutes from right now. If you want to react to the Saints, the Dome, the Least, feel free to do that. Email us, tweet us, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways that you could do that. Brian Kelly also answered some questions yesterday about Michael Van Buren. Well, let's hear what he had to say. I have some thoughts on that. We'll get to it next on AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com. Glowresources.com. They're complete employer solutions. That's Glow Resources. Home base is right there on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge at Quail Oaks, right next to Pennington. But while home base is Baton Rouge and they service businesses in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, they've got offices all over. Miami, Orlando, Houston. They're everywhere. And they serve businesses all over the country, doing work all over the world. So it doesn't matter what sector your business is in. You got to have the right people. That's true in any business. I know it in roofing and radio, and no matter what you're in, skilled blue-collar labor, if it's legal or accounting or whatever you do, you got to have the right people. And if you're looking for permanent solutions, that's what Glow Resources does, and they guarantee they'll find you that answer. If they don't, they'll give you a prorated refund or find a new employee for free. GlowResources.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Always appreciate our friends over at Decision Critical. Blazia and the crew do an awesome job. Posted a reel on social media chatting with Blazia earlier today over at the office. Talking about postpartum care. Maybe you're bringing home a new baby from the hospital. Maybe you have a NICU stay and you need nursing care. Decision Critical can help with that, from beginning of life to end of life care and everything in between. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Brian Kelly met with reporters after practice on Wednesday, and with all the questions that most people are having around Garrett Nussmeier, naturally a lot of the attention is directed toward the backup quarterback, and that, in this case, is Michael Van Buren. Brian Kelly was asked about Van Buren on Monday, and it's with Nussmeier sort of just getting a rest week. It's been a really good opportunity for Michael Van Buren.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for him. You know, we're going to give Garrett some time to rest here this week, make sure he's fully at 100%. And Michael got all the first-team reps in articulation, so he did a great job. You know, he's still learning, but, you know, as we said, we feel confident in his ability.
You know, Van Buren played a year ago for Mississippi State, as we know, and in the 10 games he played, you know, with 8 starts, he completed 54% of his passes, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, which objectively wasn't great, but again, a different team and a true freshman kind of feeling his way for the first time. I know there's a lot of people that have talked about Van Buren from the run game standpoint. As a matter of fact, that's one of the questions that Brian Kelly was asked, if they have a short yardage package for Michael Van Buren. And I think Brian Kelly's answer here is very revealing about how they perceive their offense.
Yeah, we have that package in. We have short yardage runs for quarterbacks. It's just I'm not going to take Garrett Nussmeier out of the game to run short yardage. So we've predicated all that on you know, the type of formations that we run in short yardage, and we gear it towards our quarterback. If he's not our quarterback, we have some different answers if it's Michael.
By the way, I completely agree with that. If you're backup, if you're Florida in 2006, and Chris Leak is a senior and he's your starter and he's played a ton, but you've got a true freshman in Tim Tebow that presents a really dynamic skill set, not a different skill set, a dynamic skill set. The ability to be a bowling ball, an automatic in short yardage, who also can throw the football. I'm going to find a role for that guy. Is Michael Van Buren that guy? I don't think so. By the way, in the 10 games that Michael Van Buren played a year ago, and this isn't meant to be disparaging to Van Buren, I think he's a talented young guy who's got a real high ceiling. I mean, he flashes at times. He was very inconsistent in fall camp. I mean, there were a lot of times we sat here and told you both Van Buren and Colin Hurley struggled with accuracy against air. And I'm not super impressed by the fact that he played really well against an FCS team where he entered up 6 touchdowns. It's dramatically different when you're talking about trying to play SEC games on Saturday nights for keeps. But anyway, high ceiling. He's made some beautiful plays as well. But last year at Mississippi State, in the 10 games he played, Van Buren carried 69 times for negative 12 yards. I mean, if you sack adjust that, he ran for a little more than 100 yards on the season, because rushing sacks count against rushing stats, which is stupid. But the point still remains, it's not like you're talking about you're not talking about freshman Tim Tebow. You're not talking about Lamar Jackson at Louisville. You're not talking about this guy that is such a dynamic playmaker that you just have to find a way to get him on the field. My point would be, in short yardage, if you want to run the football, give the ball to your running backs who are on scholarship to carry the football, which I think LSU has done a very poor job of so far this year. We've talked about it plenty. Is it Joe Sloan just not calling it? Is it Garrett Nussmeier checking out of it? Is it not calling it because you don't trust your offensive line? You didn't have Kaden Durham against Ole Miss. There's a lot of possibilities, and the only people that really, truly know the answer are the ones in the building. But while I think Van Buren's a good player with a high upside, I agree with Brian Kelly. I don't want to take Garrett Nussmeier off the field. Because as long as Nussmeier's on the field, a defense has to respect his ability to throw the ball. Because he's awesome at it. And struggles this year, understood. But he's proven he's an elite level passer when he's at his best. So you at least have to respect that. And by the way, they've run 3 quarterback sneaks with Nussmeier this year to convert. So in short yardage, they'll let Nussmeier sneak it. They have the ability to throw the football. And I don't know that Van Buren provides such a dynamic skill set that you can justify taking Nussmeier off the field to put Van Buren in. What I would also suggest is, and this isn't something that is exclusive to us in the media who watch them. If you were at the spring game or the spring scrimmage, whatever they called it, they ran a goal line period where they showed Juwan Johnson in the Wildcat with Nussmeier on the field. Nuss flexed out to the left. Juwan Johnson was in the single wing, carried the ball straight in for a touchdown. That's Juwan Johnson, who is actually a running back for you now, who can throw the football, threw for 10,000 yards in his high school career. That's a better option, keeping Nussmeier on the field and having Juwan Johnson as that versatile piece, which clearly they have in the playbook. We saw them run it. That's a better option than taking Nussmeier off the field to put Van Buren in my opinion. Brian Kelly agrees, and I think he's right. So we all understand they've got to spend this time here in the open day to get healthy and to figure out a way to be more productive offensively. And I can understand asking the question about Van Buren, but I agree with Brian Kelly's answer that I don't want to take Garrett Nussmeier off the field. Short yardage, long yardage, it don't matter. Unless if you had an undeniable, dynamic talent standing on the sideline who alters the math for you offensively, like Tebow did as a freshman and throughout his career, then I'm not taking my quarterback off the field. Good opportunity for LSU against South Carolina a week from Saturday. Get Kaden Durham healthy. See how your offensive line fares. And that South Carolina defensive front was so good a year ago. But Kennard's gone, and Tonka Hemingway's gone, Emmett Warry's gone. I mean, so many of the guys that made that South Carolina team. Look, you talk all you want about Lenore Sellers, man. Lenore Sellers is an enigma. He is an amazing athlete. He is just not a great quarterback today. It's the thing I've been saying when I laughed at the media for voting preseason first team all SEC. I mean, yeah, he's a big old dude that can tuck it and run over you. But he's also a dude that's going to put the ball in harm's way and make bad decisions and is an inaccurate passer. And there's nowhere near an elite level quarterback at this point in his career. But the bigger thing about South Carolina is that a year ago, that was an elite level defensive team. And they're just not this year. And now they got to go on the road to Baton Rouge. Both teams coming off an open date when they play a week from Saturday in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. You know where to find them. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. They'll treat you like family and keep you coming back year after year after year because they'll take great care of your vehicle. They'll do it at a fair price, and they'll treat you like family. So why would you go anywhere else? You wouldn't. That's why you go to Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Schedule service online, shop tires online. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. You'll have a great experience just like I have had so many times over the years, members of my family, and so many of you that have continued to tell me throughout the years about your experience. Remember, the Charlie's Dozen, a dozen benefits extended to you and every vehicle in your family when you buy your tires at Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Okay, well, now I got a break. Mike Triplet when we come back. New Orleans.football. Saints getting ready for the Giants. How's prep gone? What in the world is going on there with Chase Young? How does the offensive line look? Down a couple of starters right now. Can the Saints notch the first win of the Kellen Moore era? Talk about it with Mike Triplet when we come back next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I'm pretty excited. We're just a couple of weeks away from the centennial celebration over at Watermark Baton Rouge. It's going to be 3 nights of events at Watermark Baton Rouge, all celebrating 100 years of that historic building in downtown Baton Rouge. The original Louisiana National Bank building, which is now Watermark Baton Rouge. They've kept so much of the historical significance of that building in place. A lot of the original marble, the original artwork, the original staircases. It's a gorgeous piece of Louisiana and Baton Rouge history. When you walk into it, you'll understand what I mean. But they've upgraded with a lot of modern amenities to make it the premier hotel property in Baton Rouge. As a matter of fact, Watermark Baton Rouge voted by you the best hotel in Baton Rouge in the Best of 225 awards. So if you're looking for a staycation, Watermark Baton Rouge. Maybe you live outside of Baton Rouge, you're coming in for a game, book it Watermark Baton Rouge. Very convenient, downtown and convenient to LSU. And always, if you have an event, remember, downtown at Watermark Baton Rouge.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplet of New Orleans.football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Yes, we called him again. How are you, Mike?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Way better than Chase Young, apparently. Can you please explain to me what in the world happened there?
I mean, I don't have a good explanation other than, obviously everyone involved thought it was minor from the beginning. Not only did Chase Young exuberantly say he thought it was no big deal. That's what we heard. That's what the Saints said. Saints didn't put him on IR. They expected 2 to 3 weeks, and now we're going on week 5. So it was more expensive than originally thought, I guess. I don't believe it was a re-injury situation, but very annoying. He'd be a helpful player to have on the field.
Is there any Mike, I look at this just as a inquisitive mind, and I say clearly one of two things happened. I say, okay, either they grossly misdiagnosed this, which is possible, or he's able to come back and just isn't. Is there gray area there potentially?
I mean, obviously, potentially gray area, yes. I mean, the difference between 3 and 6 weeks, the difference between, I feel 75%, I feel 85%, I feel 95%, all that stuff is gray area. I mean, when it's these kind of injuries that aren't a broken bone or anything like that, there's a lot of, sometimes guys take longer, some guys don't feel quite right. Are you willing to play at 80% with certain teams and situations, but you got to be 100% in other situations? I mean, I don't know which shade of gray we're talking about, but yeah, I mean, it exists somewhere in between all of those possibilities.
Okay. What do they do on the offensive line this week?
Trevor Penning practiced again today, which is good.
Good.
So it looks like they'll only be down one man, which is Cesar Ruiz, and he could miss multiple weeks. And obviously Torres Simpkins has been filling in for both of those guys when needed at either spot. He's the most likely next man up. But it's not great. It's not great to have a slightly banged up Trevor Penning just one game after he came back, and an undrafted rookie who is overachieving in Simpkins, but is still, an undrafted rookie with very little experience. So that really stinks because they finally got their starting 5 out there last week. They decided to make a run-heavy game plan, and they ran the ball great. And that is what they wanted to be. That's what they want to be. And injuries always throw a wrinkle into that. But it's, at least they do have McCoy and their tackles, who I would argue are their most important offensive line.
If you flip it over on Thursday's injury report, Devon Gottschall had a veteran rest day, so he was a DNP. But then Isaac Yadam was downgraded from limited to a DNP. If he doesn't play, what do they do at corner?
Well, I mean, obviously Quincy Riley's been seeing more and more playing time as that third guy. And Yadam is the third guy, even though he starts, sometimes when they're in nickel. He's the third, even though he starts on the outside when they start in nickel. He's the third guy when it comes to snaps. Riley has been chipping away at that anyway for a number of reasons. One, he's probably earned some playing time. Two, this is a team that knows it's rebuilding and it wants to look at its younger players and give them some experience. And three, Yadam has this weird thing where if he plays 33% or more of his snaps this year, he qualifies as a certain level of free agent. They could lose a compensatory pick next year. And this is a team that should not be giving up a draft pick to play Isaac Yadam more, especially now that they're 0-4. So when you add all of those things together, I think even when Yadam is healthy, we're going to see a lot more Quincy Riley playing that spot.
Okay, great tidbit. Mike Triplet's with us. Get him at Mike Triplet, NewOrleans.football. Our chats with Mike every week are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. Matter of fact, I rolled through Benny's earlier today. I'm an Unlimited Car Wash Club member. Would highly recommend it to you as well. I think it starts at like $17 a month. It's super easy. Do it. Benny'sCarWash.com. Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, we saw that Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill return to practice this week.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news. I mean, anything helps here. So when realistically do we think we're going to see them in a game?
That is really tough to say because these are not just guys who started the year on IR because they got hurt in August and they were going to miss 6 weeks. I mean, these are guys who haven't played football since last season. They didn't have a training camp practice. They didn't have a mini camp practice. So how long will it take them to ramp up? I think they've done everything physically they could do. I think the Saints were overcautious with them, gave them ample time to return. Their conditioning, their health, the state of their knees, all of that. But how long do you need before it feels like you're ready for a football season when the science has made it that you want to have OTAs, minicamp, and training camp to get ready for a football season? I don't have a lot of comparisons, to be honest. And so it's going to be unique, as we figured out. I know from talking with Foster Moreau, like, he feels as good as he can possibly feel, but how quickly can you condense it? He had a good kind of comparison yesterday. He said every rep he takes in practice is like one day of training camp practice. That's his formula right now. But I imagine it'll be at least a couple of weeks, and I imagine it'll be a baby steps thing as they go. I mean, I don't think we're going to see, hey, by next week, 40, 50 snaps.
Right.
And it's going to be particularly interesting with Taysom Hill because there's also they haven't gotten a chance to implement Taysom plays into their playbook. I mean, offensive linemen need to know how to block those. These coaches need to know how to design those. So I imagine he'll be a guy that is very slowly ramped back up into being Taysom Hill.
Let's assume they both do get healthy to themselves. How impactful is that on this year's team?
Well, Foster Moreau would help at tight end because I think that's kind of one of their thinnest and most unproven positions. They've got behind Juwan Johnson, they've had Jack Stoll and the rookie 7th-round pick, Maliki Mataveo, playing a lot of snaps. Foster Moreau could step right in and really help that position group as both a pass catcher and a blocker and a veteran leader and all that. I think it'll be pretty easy to get him acclimated. Taysom Hill's pretty fascinating. I mean, last year, Clint Kubiak flew to see Taysom Hill in like February and designed his playbook around him and made him a fullback and made him more a part of the offense than we've ever seen before. And he was an NFC Offensive Player of the Week last year. I just don't know how you can do that. I mean, I'm kind of picturing what Kellen Moore said when they traded for Devon Vele late in August, and he compared it to when the Eagles traded for Jahan Dotson late in August the year before, that it's like you kind of give them one little section of the playbook at first. You work on that for a while. Maybe you add to that. I just have a hard time thinking that this team is all of a sudden going to be in the Taysom business when these coaches have never even gotten a chance to work with them before.
That's a great point. They got a great opportunity this week, Mike. I mean, there's no way around it. They're favored for the first time. This team hasn't even led in a game yet this year through 4 weeks. When you look at this matchup with LSU, or excuse me, I'm looking at something else, with the Saints and the Giants. When you look at this matchup, where do you perceive maybe the Saints to have advantages in the Dome?
Well, a lot of places. I mean, the Giants are not a great team. We saw a lousy Saints team go into New York and beat them last year. Brian Brzez's good at blocking their kicks. That's a big advantage for the Saints in this game. But look, the scariest thing about their team was Malik Neighbors, and you had LSU on the brain for good reason. I mean, he was the identity of this team, and that's a crushing blow for them. I hate to see it.
Yeah.
And then it's a crushing blow for Jackson Dart, who is now getting to show everyone what he is, and he lost the go-to guy that he has there. So yeah, the Giants' offense is going to be a work in progress, and Jackson Dart did win his first game last year. He threw for 111 and I think ran for 51. So the Saints got to see his blueprint. They got to see what he likes. They're probably going to try to take that running away from him and make him pass. They're going to try to, whenever you get a rookie quarterback like that, you're going to try to disguise so he doesn't know exactly what he's looking at and confuse him that way. I'm sure Brandon Staley will do that. So that's where the advantages lie. It's the opposite on the other side of the ball. The Giants do have a good defense, especially a good defensive line that they added Abdul Carter to. The pressure they can bring up front is where the Giants have the advantage. But yeah, I think I made this point earlier. Like, I felt bad, like talking about a moral victory, at Buffalo for a team that fell to 0-4. But we did like a lot of things we saw at Buffalo, against a really good team. There's no moral victories at home against New York. This has to be an actual, real victory.
It would be the first for Kellen Moore, the first for Spencer Rattler, who's 0-10 to start his career, as we all know. Great opportunity for the Saints on Sunday in the Dome. NewOrleans.football is where you read him. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplet. Y'all give him a follow. His chats with us every single Thursday here, presented by Benny's Car Wash. Benny'sCarWash.com, Benny'sCarWash.com. Go learn more about their unlimited membership clubs at Benny'sCarWash.com. Okay, Mike, we appreciate it as always, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. It is after further review. He's right. The matchup there with the Giants' amazing defensive line against a limited and at times inefficient and effective Saints offensive line feels like the thing the Saints have to shore up. But Saints can run the ball in this game the way they did last week in Buffalo. And Buffalo is the worst run defense. They're 32nd in the NFL in run defense. So not surprising you were able to run the ball. Can you do it against a good defensive front with New York? Kind of the game in the game. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. I always tell you there's a lot of reasons why. One of them is the patronage refund, which effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. And Eli Graham not only financed his farmland through First South Farm Credit, bought land to build his family's dream home as well. And when I had a chance to talk to Eli earlier this week, he explained the benefit for him personally with that patronage refund and also their ability to refinance.
The patronage program really was a key selling point. And then they'll do a rate adjustment. I just had one on my land loan. The interest rates went down, so they printed out some papers, and my wife and I signed them, and it's going to save us about $1,000 a year.
Also, about $1,000 a year. Also said that they've done business just side of the road. Loan officers pulled up. They've just signed paperwork on the hood of a car, a hood of a truck. That's how First South Farm Credit work. They're there for you. FirstSouthland.com, FirstSouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthland.com. Okay, y'all. It's after further review. Been a really good show. Glad to have you hanging out with us. No good on the first bet of the day for the Otter. We had the under and the Guardians. Missed on both of those, unfortunately. We did, however, hit on the Cubs. So the Cubs were a winner there, like that. Otter gave out the baseball picks earlier, but we got that. We got Thursday Night Football. We'll get to Otter Locks to wrap up a busy Thursday AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. You can always learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. We'll wrap up with Otter Locks next.
AFR.
Y'all get on by, see our friends at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Fall is here. It's October. It is an awesome time to go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. All the fall decor is there. If you're decorating your front porch, your back patio, your office building, amazing selection, and all the gorgeous fall bedding plants that they have as well. If you want to pick them up, you can do so at any of the 4 locations. Seaganier Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Of course, there's beautiful fall colors right now where you talk about the dark greens and the oranges and the browns, those earth tones that are so beautiful and add that pop of color to your flower bed, your patio pots, around the office. It's Clegg's Nursery. Remember, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, the largest garden center in the state of Louisiana, so they have an unmatched selection and amazing people as well there to help you. It's Clegg's Nursery. So, buy local, shop local, and be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The First time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. One thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Oh, good, Matt. How about you?
Really well. Split the first two baseball games. Got a night game. Got some college football. Got an NFL game. A smorgasbord, man. What do we like tonight?
Well, the Cubs aren't home yet. They're 2-0 in the
Oh, is that not over? Oh, it was on.
No.
It was on TV. What happened? Shut off. Okay. What's the score?
2-0 in the sixth.
Okay.
The Cubs got two in the first, I think it was, or the second. But had two in, base loaded, nobody out.
Okay.
And didn't get any more, and that's where we stand right now. Still 2-0. That's predicted that Yu Darvish had his struggles. So we're going to go with the Yankees again tonight in Game 3 at the Bronx. So young kid for the Yankees. He has been on a roll coming into this one. This is where Boston's really going to pay not having Lucas Giolito. So we know about one former White Sox that they shut him down a couple of nights ago in Crochet, but Giolito is unavailable for this series and for the remainder of the postseason should they advance. So I think it's going to come to bite them tonight. We like the Yankees in a close one. It was a tough beat on our run line last night. It cost it because on the game-winning hit, what in the hell is the batter not going to second when Jazz has to come all the way, Chisholm has to come all the way to first to score on a bang-bang. Yeah. Of course, he would have scored on the next base hit, but it didn't happen. And in the football tonight, it's a mash unit. It's on my survivor pick as well.
Oh, wow.
With the Rams. Yeah, so San Francisco is really, really banged up. I mean, Pearsall is out. He was his favorite target. So it's McCaffrey. It's going to look like Alvin Kamara with all the attention they have on him a lot of times with the Saints. Rams got one guy to kind of keep under wraps. And because it, we're going to tack one on. We didn't put it on the website, but the under tonight. Divisional games have been really trending under, and I figure that San Francisco is going to have a lot of problems tonight offensively. So that's where the bulk of their injuries are. So they take the Rams, who were fortunate to win and cover. I agree. That was a popular pick on Football Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll take them minus the 8.5 tonight. So you want to have a little in-game teaser or, maybe part of your single-game parlay, Rams minus 2.5 and under 46.5 might be something to consider as well.
Okay, I like that. 46.5 and 2.5. Okay, I'm down with that action. Football Friday tomorrow.
Football Friday starts at 10 a.m. Richard and Charlie get it started. They looked at the all-22 cut, and we'll have a lot of feedback on their film study. So, and then picks, and more picks, man. A lot of home dogs tomorrow. We'll be talking about in college football. Yes, indeed.
Got a couple of unranked favored over ranked matchups as well.
You see that, huh?
Well, Muse pointed it out earlier today, so we know they're auto plays, so we'll look forward to cashing those tickets as well. All right, man. Have a great night. Good luck, and we'll look for you tomorrow at Rufino's.
All right, good luck.
All right, that is Jimmy Yacht. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. I tell you all the time, we talk all the time in Louisiana, everywhere really on the Gulf Coast about generator power because right here in this storm belt, so we all deal at times with power outages. Well, Arco Power Systems, this is reliable energy solutions for businesses. Grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, any type of business. If you need standby generator power, a permanent solution, a rental option, servicing your generator, you want Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, 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 arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. They're right there on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, but they have offices as far west as San Antonio, east to Mobile, north to Little Rock, Houston, Dallas. They are everywhere. Incredible business. It's critical backup energy solutions for the industrial sector and for all businesses. Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com for Arco Power Systems. All right, been a really good show. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us here on today's episode presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge and all over the state of Louisiana. We do have Thursday night football, as Jimmy mentioned there. You also got a college game tonight. Hanny gave out a play. What?
Hanny gave out a play on this game?
It's Sam Houston against New Mexico State. Okay. He's got a point here. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to play it, but Sam Houston. What? Oh.
No, sorry. I was a little early.
Yeah, we're early. Okay.
Yeah.
Sam Houston has not covered at all this year.
Okay.
And they're a 2.5 point favorite in this ball game. I said, you know what? I'm going money line with New Mexico State at home.
Okay.
So I'm here to get wild tonight. I got action on Sam Houston and New Mexico State.
There's a number you can call for that.
We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After Further Review.
Getting on down the road, I love telling you about Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. And my goodness, they've been an amazing partner of ours here as well on After Further Review and of our entire community, not just in Baton Rouge, but the entire state of Louisiana, because Our Lady of the Lake is part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. And the Sisters of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady have made it the core of their mission for a century to provide exceptional health care through this health system for the areas that they serve. And Our Lady of the Lake is a gigantic part of that. And when you think of LSU, I want you to think of LSU and Our Lady of the Lake as interwoven. If you love LSU athletics, of course, the physicians at Our Lady of the Lake care and provide championship-level health care for the LSU athletes, football, baseball, basketball, every sport at LSU, but also the LSU Student Center and everyday champions like you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy?
propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.